So I was in bed last night, staring at the ceiling, listening to the radio, thinking, how do I make money quickly? Then, brain blast. I realized the idea is already there. Vaultex. What? Yeah, Vaultex. No, those aren't actual items. It's the company that makes an item. Vaultex. I'll make and give people bunkers for the end of the world. It's cheap. It's gonna happen. So what about if I make these things, but then I sell them to companies and then they do like wild experiments? What do you mean that's immoral? Well, hello there. I'm here to sell you safety. So that way when the Krispy Kremes of the world try to January 6 your life, you'll be well protected and your family safe.
So are you just trying to sell us a timeshare?
No. I'm trying to sell you a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. I don't understand what they're not getting. Okay. Vault sounds too permanent for them. You lock it. I get it. All right. We can call it anything, right? It's my thing. I can make it whatever. Okay, let's call it something else. A crypt. A repository. No. Depository. No. Tomb. No. Sounds too final. Sounds like you're gonna die down there. I mean, they are, but you can't know that.
I don't know, man. Pretty much have a lifestyle. You know, here, above land.
Yeah, but if you buy into this, your life will be so much better. It's not. Living underground sucks. There's no water, there's no food. You're basically by yourself. It's dark.
Vault-Tec terms and conditions for experimentation.
Testing the sexual drive of humanity with only a pussy and 50 years of food and water. Oh, too big. Okay.
Testing the human mind's endurance while listening to Taylor Swift on loop for 10 years.
Testing human social skills if the only interaction in 15 years were puppets made out of dildos.
Testing the cavity size of a human's...
Volunteers will be compensated with a $50 gift card to Borders bookstore after completion of test. Did Borders really survive?
When the nukes drop, you'll be in the new world. Life, liberty, and Borders bookstore.
What the are you on?
I don't know, man. The anal cavity one sounds kind of interesting. They even throw their urethra for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the fine print.
Oh, and they use the little pliers.
Mm-hmm.
Oil change included?
Yep.
Dude, sign me up.
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. At Undercity Comics, Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 189. My name is Nick Vallejo.
Rene.
It's Bryan.
And welcome to the show.
Hey.
I tried to remember it and I did not read it.
You know what? I was proud of you because you tried to make eye contact, and then I saw you, and you're just.
And then I got stuck, and I went. And then I was gonna look down, and then I was like, at Keeping Up with the Nerds. At Keeping Up with the Nerds.
He's a little too high, dude. Why'd you come in high? Coming in hot, dude.
It's my drink.
That's your drink?
It's my drink.
Makes sense, dude.
Yeah, it's
like,
all natural.
Welcome to the
soda.
show, ladies and gentlemen. Issue 189 of Keeping Up with the Nerds.
Naturally flavored soda.
Check us out at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X.com, formerly known as Twitter. Check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel because we got skits on every episode there on YouTube.
I don't know how.
We're at 190 subs.
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Yes.
10 more for the big 200. Can we get there before the year is over?
I think so.
We have 11 issues, 11 weeks.
I think with some of the events that we have coming up,
We can get there. I want to aim for 215. We can. I think with what we, like Nick said, with what we got planned.
yeah, a couple of events that we're going to be announcing pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think so.
What events is he talking about?
We can't say.
You'll find out.
If we do
Nothing's
say anything
finalized.
about it, shot on spot.
Yeah.
The laser comes down.
It's really funny too because I know we can't say anything,
No, we can't.
but they've been shouting us out a lot. And
That's true.
and it keeps on popping up, and I was like,
We
Hey,
can't
Dan,
say stuff.
I can't cross promote you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? You told me not to say anything
Yep.
until this was done.
What could it be? Well, if people follow us on our socials, they would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about following people on socials. Sometimes they give giveaways, right? Dugai got a box from you guys.
Good segue.
Yeah, it's a great
Yay.
segue. Our friends at the Super Mason Brothers network.
It's too
whatever.
bad it was bent when it came in.
What?
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
know. They didn't know how to read.
Do not bend.
Oh, it wasn't bent, dude. I was just like, what are you talking about, dude? No, so the Super Mason Brothers, if you guys follow them on Instagram, they do giveaways every now and then, and I happen to win one. Yes, I did win one. Wasn't given
Yes.
to me.
Is the game rigged? We don't know.
No.
It is. It is. Lewis went, Brian.
He was
Why
just
free
scrolling
promo?
through and was like, Brian.
Yeah.
So-
How dare he?
So one of the giveaways, they recently released a hat,
Mhm.
and they were doing 2 or 3 different giveaways. I entered the one that was on the story where they were going to open up cards, and I happened to win. What was in this mystery box? Well, real quick, there's this little thank you note from Lewis and the gang,
Is it?
Super Mazer Bros.
Super amazing, bros.
A pack of stickers. What? And these are pretty great stickers. I think we've shown them out before. Let me know if you can see it on the camera.
Some of them are new, but they
This
had-
one's new.
Yeah, that one's
Little
definitely.
toad one.
Go here, take a
The
photo
bomb
of
on
your
one.
new amazing
Volter
merch.
bomb.
Tag us and show us your love.
What is
You
this
guys
one?
you actually do have to remember to do
Yoshi
that.
Mario, or Charizard Mario, Charmeleon, and
If you don't share it
King
on
Bomb.
Instagram, did you really win?
Exactly.
Right?
The box also came with a couple pins, and these pins are pretty sick too. You guys saw them earlier. You guys want to see them again?
I love the glossiness.
It's
Yeah.
super dope.
The gloss and the star pattern, those are really sick.
You have the Charmander Darth Vader one, and you have the
Yes.
Chewy
Chewy
Bulbasaur one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was like last year when I had the Squirtle one, and then this is the hat, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
That hat's really
The-
nice. I do like that hat.
The creme de la creme.
Yes, this hat.
I think you should get the Charizard pin.
Which
The
one?
LA Charizard one. and slap
Oh,
it
if
on
they
the-
have it just like right
Yeah.
at the top.
That'd be kind of sick. But see, the thing is that because the L, I mean the
The T?
logo in the front,
Yeah.
the logo in the front,
Yeah.
because it has such really interesting like imagery in the front, you'd be kind of blocking it with the Charizard.
Well, it's not an LA logo. Remember that.
Yeah.
It's a. It's not,
You
it's
can't
not-
see that it's LA on
Yeah,
there.
you can maybe put it on the back or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's pretty dope. But
I want you to go to a game wearing that now.
I could honestly.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme. The color scheme's really nice.
You pointed
I
this out
love
earlier,
him.
but the World Series patch that's on the side,
They redid it.
they redid it so that it says Super Mario Bros. 2024.
Yeah.
You said this is the second version of the hat, right?
Yes,
They did one last year as well.
I think Lewis was wearing the first version.
Yeah, it was the
when
prototype.
he came in.
Yeah,
That
so
was,
this one, 2024.
yeah.
Great looking hat. But
Yeah.
shout out to the Super Mazer Brothers.
Shout out to
Go
you,
follow
bros.
them. Socials will be in the description, wherever you guys can find them. Oh, my head's so
Yeah.
fat, dude.
You want to keep up with what they drop? Go and follow them.
They
yeah.
drop a lot of stuff.
I like their color scheme though. The green,
and
the
the
red and
burgundy.
the blue.
Yeah, really great.
It is.
Because it's not even a red. You're right. It's burgundy.
Mhm.
It's more
Yeah.
of a burgundy. Yeah.
It's a great hat. I'm gonna wear it for the whole show.
I'm more of a fan though. Personally, my hat, I like the curve.
You like
brim.
the
You like
you
the
like
brim?
more of a baseball hat.
Yeah,
You're the dad hat look.
yeah.
You can still bend that.
You could, but
You
I would
can turn
hate
it
to
into
do that. That's
You,
the
you
thing.
can
Yeah.
still you can do it.
What
to
is the
that.
prices on the hat? I think he said it was like 35.
I think it was like
Yeah.
35.40.
Makes
Something like
sense.
35.40 for the
Yeah.
hat, and
There's
then
a
the
lot of
stickers
branding
usually
on
about
it,
like
yeah.
$4. Yeah. No, great
that.
people.
Solid deal.
We have 3 episodes with them.
Ooh, is it 3?
3 because we had this year's, we
Uh-huh.
had last year's, and then we had the year
Yeah.
before that.
Yes.
We've been doing it for 3 years.
We've been doing it for 3 years.
Yeah.
This is year 3.
Dang.
Yeah. So thank you guys for the giveaway. Thank you for
Thank you for rigging it.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for choosing.
Brian
that.
actually said he's never won anything.
I haven't. Dude.
So you were his first winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I'm usually like the bad luck Brian of giveaways. It never works out for me.
Well, that's also,
What?
they look at your name tag and they were like, I'm Turtle.
A turtle Brian. Okay, good.
Turtle Brian.
What do we need him for?
Hey, it's Turtle.
There's a turtle.
Turtle.
You just put him on his back. Was he gonna do fight back? What's he gonna do?
Yeah,
So how has your guys' week been?
It's been alright.
Oh, I was
it's
like,
not too bad.
It's been alright.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
alright.
No stories.
I don't have any stories this
No,
week.
no
Yeah.
creeps followed him today.
Unfortunately. No, actually, I had a weird one, which I thought was pretty funny because
Can-
I had a training today.
Oh, I was gonna say, was this yesterday? Because you laid
No.
down the law yesterday, dude.
For what?
When you gave me a phone call.
What are you talking about?
Oh, so you called yeah.
So Brian got to hear me at work.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
so-
pocket
'cause-
dialed him?
No.
Oh.
I called him because of what
Oh,
was
for
going
what's going on,
Yeah,
yeah.
what was going on yesterday.
Yeah.
So I called Brian and I was letting him know, like, the stuff that we were working on.
Yeah.
And I was at work,
Mhm.
but I had my TKers with me. So I had my kinders with. I had like my transitional kindergartners.
Yeah.
And they started to run, and I was on the phone with Brian, and one of my staff was trying to catch up with them. And Brian heard me put some bass in my voice.
Put some bass in my
Dude, he was
voice.
just
And I
like,
was
"Hey!"
like, my,
Don't make me use my bass voice.
I was like, hey, get back here. And then like I was, and like he could hear me like talking to the kids, and they were like, what? And I was like, and I'm like, you better get back over here. And I didn't do that, but I mean, like,
No, but
it
you laid
was-
the law down. I was
It,
like,
it was funny,
"Damn,
and then
what
I was
the
like, "Sorry about that." My TKers were acting up, and he's like, "Nah, lay down that law.
heck?"
Get that law."
F him.
I think you probably can. No, not like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think you probably heard them as I was talking to you. Like,
Yeah,
in
I
the
heard him.
background.
I mean,
like, in
we've
the
worked
background.
together in a school setting before. It's not like the first time that.
I'm really interested how you can open that with a key.
It's
ring.
gonna happen.
I have no idea what the fuck you're doing.
I'm trying to
trying to-
open it.
it's a
He said-
pop-off.
He lied to me. He said it was a
9-10.
twist off.
No,
Why,
it's
who
not a
told
twist.
you it was a
The
twist
guy that
off?
sold it to you?
No, it's a pop
I
off.
said
It's
it's
a
a pop
pop-off.
off.
Oh, I misheard.
No, you heard what you wanted to hear.
You're right.
Can I have the,
It was
can I
my
have the,
fault.
can I have the screwdriver, please?
No, don't do that. You're gonna hurt
Can
yourself.
you give me the bottle and a screwdriver, please? You're gonna break your keys.
Actually, I can do that.
Just
Here.
give it to me.
No, I can. Let me
Give
do
it to me.
Let me try it.
He's a man.
Give it to me.
Can I
Just-
try it?
I'm threatening you with the
Be
dang
a
screwdriver.
man.
Can I try it, please?
All right, when you cut your hand open, we're not
Okay.
taking you to the hospital.
That's fine.
We're not stopping the podcast.
We're not
I
stopping
work-
the podcast.
Podcast will continue at the
You know what?
ER.
Honestly, I'm really scared now. And I
Why?
feel like you're going to cut your hand open.
I'm gonna bust my eye open before.
Just-
Oh, I opened it.
Dude, I gotta learn, dude. When the wasteland happens, I have to make sure that I'm ready for the end of the world. I gotta
What
do.
are you doing?
I'm doing it.
You just got to make sure you hear that.
I did.
There
Woo!
you go.
Hey, look. he
And I
became
got
a boy-
one bottle cap, bro.
Look at that. He became a Boy Scout.
He popped it off himself.
Popped his cap.
Yep.
Have faith.
Good job.
What's your story?
Oh, so anyway.
After
Monica
the
was-
bass in my voice.
No, because Monica was laughing at me today.
For what?
Because we were talking, and I had so I had an awkward conversation with a manager yesterday because I guess somebody was getting let go, and it wasn't me, but it was
Someone was
somebody
getting
else.
what?
Somebody was getting let go.
Oh,
Like they were, like somebody was going to get fired, and
Has it been the problem employee?
no,
Oh, damn.
Has it been the
No,
employee that you were playing jokes on?
no.
Posted
That
guy.
guy- that guy-
I
that
can't
guy-
do this.
No, that guy works for a different program, so he can't get fired. by us.
Oh,
okay.
I just-
so you were targeting a rival program?
Yeah.
Oh, then go for it. Why do we feel sorry for that guy?
That's why.
Does he listen to the show?
No, but if he did, he would know that I talk about my psychological warfare.
Well,
all
if he
the
does
time.
listen to this episode, now I know, dude. He's a rival programmer.
So what happened was they let them. So what they told me was, hey, we're letting them go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they called me at like 5:45, just before I'm about to clock out. And they're like, oh, you need to like disconnect all their like stuff and everything like that. I'm like, okay. So they were being all dramatic. And so I disconnected everything. I wiped their phone. I did everything else because I can do it remotely.
So were they let go then, or were they still what?
So hold on.
No.
So this isn't the story hasn't gotten good yet. So
This
I
is the
came into work, and mind you, I did all that last night, and then because I did it, Google automatically assumed that we were being hacked for that account because I was wiping everything. So Google locked the account. So it says you're locked out for 24 hours
Okay.
until until an admin reactivates it. An admin can reactivate it after 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll reactivate it when I wake up in the morning. So I wake up in the morning, I reactivate the account. I'm about to reactivate the account, and I'm going to change passwords. And I come in, and mind you, we have a training. So I walk in, and then they're like, and I can hear her saying, we were getting hacked last night, and that's why all the accounts are locked out. And I went, what? I go, what is she saying? Like, why is she saying that? And then I went up to her, and I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, yeah, all the accounts got locked out last night, right? That's why she can't log into her account. And I go, what are you talking about? We didn't get hacked last night. And she goes, we got hacked last night. And she's like trying to like tell me like this is what the story that she's going with. So they didn't fire that person. They had me lock her out, and they didn't have time to fire her. So she was trying to log into her email, and she noticed that it was showing up as disconnected by admin. And so it was an awkward conversation of me going,
that was me.
Yeah, no, not only that, but also the person then was like, hey, I noticed that my email, because they always go to me because I have control over it. And they were like, hey, my email isn't working. And it says it's locked out by admin. And then I was like, oh, well, let me look at it. And it was like an awkward conversation because I was like, why is she here?
So instead of letting go of the person.
And then they awkwardly, like in the middle of training, told her to go up and then fired her. And then let her. Yeah.
Wow.
That's like.
Dang, it's double whammy. It's like
Is that a double whammy?
Kinda.
No, it's just
Or is that
dumb.
is that a big wham?
It's just, but it was just really dumb. Like, but they were doing all these like lies and everything like that. And then I told them, because I was even talking to her too. I was like, it doesn't make any sense because there's 11 people downstairs that all have access to emails.
Yeah.
And none of their emails are not working. Like, she goes like, hey, did you hear that we got hacked last night? And they were like, what? Yeah, all the emails aren't working. And then they try to log into their email. They'll get in.
So why didn't they
It's a very
just
simple-
let her go?
Because honestly, the person that handles that, she really likes showmanship.
What showmanship?
I'm being 100% honest. This is a thing. She really likes theatricality.
No, she doesn't.
She is like Batman. She, but like a terrible version of it. It's like if Ra's al Ghul trained a terrible HRA lady, and it was just like theatricality is our ally.
So you disconnect every account.
So I thought she wasn't going to show, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess she got fired. And I come in the next day, and then she's sitting in the training, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you
so
here?
then she walked
She's
back
like,
and be like, oh, this all makes sense now.
and I was just like, well, that's really dumb. I'm like, well, that was really dumb. Like, why didn't you guys just fire her last night? And they were like, well, we ran out of time, and we didn't get a chance to go to her site before they closed. And I was thinking, I was like, the office is like 5 minutes away from her site.
They were just lazy.
You waited it was that thing of you waited all day, and then you got held up with other things, and then you didn't do her check, and then for some reason you were waiting to do her check instead of just saying, because what they were trying to do is they were trying to get the exact time so that way they didn't pay them more
That makes sense.
instead of doing more. But when I was talking to like Monica about it, she was like, well, if they're really a problem employee and everything like that, just give them the hour. Just go, okay, they go all the way until 6.
Yeah.
But that's the
And then fire them at 5:45, and then they get an extra 15 minutes.
But see,
and
that's the interesting thing about last checks, because when I transitioned from the old job I was to the new job, they're like, because you're leaving this job and switching over to another
this
one.
area?
Yeah. No, it was because originally I was with one company, now I'm with another. So they were like,
it's not even different departments, really?
yeah, in the same department, but different companies I work for now.
That's weird.
I'll tell you afterwards, so I don't dox anything. But essentially, what it is they told me it's like you cannot work past even a minute of what we pay you for. So if we tell you to leave by 3:30, you better be out of here by 3:30.
But that's the thing though, is that because I've done it, I've done terminations at another company, and we did do it where we were just like, what time does she normally clock out at? And then I go, oh, she clocks out at 6 o'clock. And then they went, okay, cool. Call her into your office call her into the conference room at 5:30, and then she could spend the last 30 minutes cleaning out her desk.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And she can do whatever. They never
specify.
They're dumb.
Yeah.
Like these they're just dumb. Like
Yeah.
that was the same thing that happened when they were trying to fire the 2 ladies at my site.
Yeah.
And then like they waited all the way up until like the last minute, and I had all these, and I like had to make up things for them to do. So I went to the back, and then I cut a banner off the fence, and then handed it to them and went, "Hey, can you go hang this banner?" Like an idiot. And I was like, and then they were like, and then they got there and they were like, "Where are the girls? Did they leave?" And I'm like, "No, I cut a banner off the fence and I have them hanging it right now."
So hang it back up where you cut it.
Yeah. But they didn't know that the banner was there.
Jobs are dumb, man.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I was like waiting for it. I was like, this is such a waste of time. And like, this is not how you do it. And then it was, and like, as they were firing them, that's what I mean by theatricality. Cause she was like, "I'm going to text you and then you send the other one." So that way, like, they don't like bump into each other. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I went to the front office lady so that way I can notify them that we were having a staff change.
Mm-hmm.
And then our front office lady, she's chatty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm chatty. You don't put 2 of those together. We just talk. So then, and I had my phone on vibrate. So it vibrated and I just assumed it was you guys or somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ignored it. And then I immediately went, okay, whatever. And I'm talking to the front office lady. And then she pops out and she's like, "Can you go get the other one?" And I'm like, "Why don't you go do it? You fired him? Like, what the heck? Like, this isn't my job."
So
like,
whenever your phone rings, you think it's one of us?
yeah, I think it's either you guys or it's my friends or it's my other friends.
If you guys call me,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the worst situation possible.
Why?
I don't know, because usually you guys don't call me.
I
You
call-
never call me. If you called me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something happened. If
Somebody's
you called
dead.
me or something, exactly.
Somebody's dead. No, because what was it? Because I also have like Discord, and everybody on there is very active. So it just
Get a job.
They all have jobs. they just use their phones during their jobs. Like,
So here's the question.
you answered a phone call, a personal phone call.
No, that's true.
while you were
That's
at
true.
work.
But it's Discord. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
No. So I wanted to bring this question up because you and I were talking about this last week, Rene. We were all talking about it actually, but the idea of having like exclusive content on our channel.
Yeah.
So the only reason I bring it up is because like we want to make some money now. Like we want to have that power to fire ourselves if we want to, right?
I'm fired.
I'm gonna take a
sabbatical.
yeah. I'm
take a
gonna take a
sabbatical.
sabbatical. Yeah.
Quit.
I fired myself, so I'm gonna get what is it? The
Workers' comp.
Yeah, workers' comp. I'm gonna get a workers' comp check. Like,
So who fired you? I did.
I did.
I fired me.
I fired myself from
only-
social media work.
It's like Ben Stiller. Only I fire me.
Nobody fires me.
So the reason I bring it up is because we've had conversations amongst us, and then you've also been approached by people as well,
Yeah.
saying that they're interested in possibly even like maybe subbing in some sort of way to a monthly fee for exclusive stuff.
It's definitely something that we've been pondering.
We had an original idea, but the idea's dead now.
What was the
Is it?
Yeah,
What was it?
the
No.
one that we had to bury the idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Last year's joke.
What was it?
Yeah.
No.
I
We
forgot.
can't even say it now.
I forgot. It was about Dune, right? We had to Dune each other up.
Do each other.
No. So if this is the only reason I'm asking you this early in the show.
Yeah.
If people are interested about it, we will work on it because there is stuff that's coming up. And if you guys are interested, possibly in like maybe subbing to a $5, maybe $8 or $10 program that we might have,
$50.
$50 tier.
Only
Would
for
that be
Junior.
something that you guys are interested
Only
in?
Junior's paying $50.
And here's the
Everybody else gets the $5, but Junior gets the $50.
He has the
He's
street sign sticker vinyl
Right.
stuff. So
Yeah.
he
I
can
know. I'm
get
just
it for you.
messing with you, Junior.
Junior would be like, totally. You know what we should do? Junior just should post his celebrity sightings on there.
All his celebrity sightings.
That is so. I thought it was funny because Monica started following Junior.
Oh yeah.
And then she read the description, but she didn't watch the video.
Because
And it was so funny because she was like, "Do you know who?" I forget who he bumped into, but like she said
Yeah.
a name, and I was like, "What about him?" And then she goes, "Junior bumped into him." I go, "Where? What was he at? Like a con or something?
Yeah.
Like where did he go? Was he at Knott's Berry Farm?" And she goes, "I don't know." And then she showed it to me, and I was like, "Man, that's not the."
That's not the real guy.
That's not the real guy. I thought Junior actually met him.
I thought his celebrity sightings were actual celebrities.
No.
That it's because I would watch him on mute. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, that doesn't look like this person. And then I listen to them. It's like, oh, I get it now.
He just did one upon recording right now. I just watched it right before we got done. He did one with LeBron James.
I saw that. He did the LA Night one too.
Yeah, I did LA Night.
Celebrity sighting. LA Night, celebrity sighting. Yeah. No, but I think we can do that. But I want people's take on it if they're interested in it.
Yeah.
Description, put it down there, or actually not description, comment section.
We also had an
Let us
idea
know.
of we would watch a movie.
Oh, that was Noel's recommendation.
Yeah.
Noel's
We
recommendation.
also had an idea that you guys can pay a certain fee that we watch that movie and review it.
Because the only way I'll watch those movies is if you pay me.
Yeah.
You pay, I watch.
Yeah. If you guys can cover the rental, like the rental of it, go for it.
I'm down to watch.
I think that's like a good. Yeah, it's like a book club, but for film.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Velocipaster.
It's so. Oh my god, that one.
Oh my god, Hayden would pay for
Tremors.
You don't like Tremors?
I love Tremors.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say. I was like, wait.
There's
are we
always
about to
one
fight
person.
right now?
No, there's always
Are we
one
about to
person.
fight?
That's
How
like,
dare you,
dude? So
I love
saw a meme.
Tremors.
Sorry, this made me think of you because Comics This Week came out with a What If Aliens. And
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw it up on the wall.
one with Paul Reiser's character.
Okay.
What if he lived? And he writes it.
Okay.
Yeah. What if he lived from aliens instead? Like
Is
he
it still
doesn't
there?
die. Yeah. No, I put it in your box.
Oh,
You're good.
thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a meme from Dune where it's like Dune Part 2 was really great,
Mm-hmm.
and it was even better when these two characters popped up, and it's the main characters from Tremors
Oh yeah.
at the end of it.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's character. I forget his name. I haven't seen Tremors in years, dude. I have to
No,
rewatch
because
it.
they're saying that the
You mean
sandworms.
Merle and Dale.
Yeah.
They're saying that the sandworms are just as.
They're
like-
just Tremors. That's what I
yeah,
said
they're
that in
just
the middle of the
Tremors,
movie.
yeah.
I was like, so they're just Tremors. I said that in
make
the movie.
movement. Yeah, you
I was
can't-
like, in the movie, I was like, they're just Tremors. That's all they are. I'm unsure if whether or not Dune saw Tremors and then went do that.
Does Tremors count as a B tier movie?
Yeah, it's a B horror film.
Yeah, it's a low budget horror film.
I actually
so
didn't.
good.
I know what I didn't.
is.
You ever seen what was it? The best of CGI and the worst of CGI
Is
from
it
Corridor
Corridor
Digital.
Yeah.
They did Tremors,
Yeah.
and they do the scene where the tremor comes through the wall and tries to eat Bert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in the scene.
Yeah.
And they were like, you can't tell it's a composite, but it's a miniature and a live scale combined together, and then it's a reverse shot.
Is it?
So you know the shot where it wraps around his leg,
Yeah.
and then everything else, it's a shot in reverse. So it's wrapped around his
That
leg
makes
and
sense.
then pulled because the snakes are actually coilable.
Yeah.
So they're fully movable.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like straws, but with like strings in them.
But if you do it in reverse, it'll look like it's actually wrapping around.
Yeah. So it won't coil, but you can pre-coil it and then pull it, and it will look good.
That makes sense.
And then it has like a miniature. And then what they ended up having to do is then they made a full size, and then that's the one that they were using for like the squibs and everything else.
My favorite scene from the first Tremor is when Kevin Bacon's character runs
Towards the cliff?
Towards the cliff.
Die,
And it
you
lasts-
sucker!
Yeah.
Die! Can you fly?
Didn't they do in like Tremors 4 or something?
They
like
actually
that?
can't fly yet. In Tremors 3.
Yeah, Back to Perfection.
Didn't they do a new Tremors?
They did.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Jamie
bad.
Kennedy.
Yeah, I don't know how Jamie Kennedy got attached.
Well, it's weird because like they started running with that whole with that redneck guy.
Yeah, Bert.
Yeah, Bert. They made him in the third one, and then from moving forward, they made him the main character. Like
I do actually like the second one in Mexico. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
like the
It's not that
Mexico
bad,
one.
yeah.
I like that one. Like what was it? I love it when they're trapped by the tremors,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to kill the heat seekers,
yeah.
and then he uses the big old sniper rifle,
Mhm.
and then it goes, kills it, explodes, then it goes through a wall,
Yeah.
through a barrel,
Mhm.
through the gas tank of the car,
Yeah.
and then it explodes. And they were like, that was our only way out, Bert. He's like, I was going for maximum penetration. We were supposed to be hunting graboids, not these things.
Oh, we gotta watch Tremors again,
Dude,
Yeah.
I
Did you see?
love
Okay,
Tremors.
I've seen this funny TikTok, and it's a compilation of actors that don't know how to use tools on movies.
Really?
And it showed the scene of Joaquin Phoenix in Signs, and he's trying to board up the door, and he's missing every
Oh,
single
that's
time.
right.
And Kevin Bacon is in that same one in Trimmers where he's putting the barbed wire on the post and he's hitting it and he's missing it every time. But then he gets like the last 2 shots and the nails just going like this. Like it's not going in, it's going like tick, 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 tick. And he's like, okay, then he sees it gone and he walks out of frame and stuff.
That's right. I've seen that one.
It's super funny.
Yeah.
All right.
It's great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pretty packed show today. Comic strips is kind of short, but there is one topic that will probably last about 15 minutes.
Sure.
Because it's a pretty heavy one. But we will also be talking about the Rooster Teeth shutdown and the Fallout stuff that has been coming out. Because Fallout fans got a lot to eat over the last 2 days. A lot of content. You know,
You did.
I did.
I'm kind of
I
like,
cried.
I'm like,
You cried, really?
I did, dude. I did. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. But let's start with comic strips portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation, except one because I think this dumbass said it open his mouth and speak audacities.
Oh,
So let's start with this.
I was
Should we
like,
start?
what?
I'm actually thought it was him. Like,
I was like,
we're only 27 minutes in.
I haven't said anything outlandish yet.
No. Trust me. The stuff that
I
you
haven't even
say
gotten
is
I haven't
the
even
stuff
gotten
that you
started.
say
We
is
haven't
like
even mentioned Fallout yet. He's
Like I had to clutch my pearls.
yeah.
That was honestly like
That was a real reaction.
That was a real reaction.
No, trust me, dude. Listen,
I actually did the. Oh,
I
Jesus.
playfully get mad at you. This one made me fight. I almost got in a fight with a
Oh,
robot.
I was gonna. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I was actually going to screenshot it and share it with the group, with the podcast, because it was that funny. Because I was laughing at work. I was cracking up.
If you
at
open,
work.
you can pull up the stuff.
See if you can pull it up. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
want
right
to.
there.
I want to read it.
Okay.
Because it was so damn funny.
So, do we start
Do
we start with some sad news first, or do we go with
Let's get the sad news out of the way.
Get sad news out?
out of the
Okay,
way.
so there's a reason why I'm wearing my Dragon Ball shirt in honor of Akira
Got renewed for
Toriyama.
another season.
Stop, dude. Akira Toriyama passed away at the age of 68 on March 1st.
Oh, no, he
in
didn't
his-
get renewed.
No. Stop, dude.
He's not gonna be in Super 2.
He did pass away at the age of 68, March 1st. He had a statement that was released by the family. This was public information as of March 7th. The family stated that this period between the 1st and the 7th was basically to allow for personal mourning, funeral services away from the public. Akira Toriyama, if you're not familiar with it, was the creator of the franchise like Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump, and provided designs for games such as Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest.
When he mentioned Zack Snyder, that's why I'm bringing it up.
So there is a letter that Bird Studios and Capsule Corp Tokyo actually released. If I can quickly read it real quick.
Yeah.
Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that the manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma. He was in age of 68. It is our deepest regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have many more things to achieve. Again, this is translated in Japanese. That's why
Okay, yeah.
it's a little bit weird. However, he had left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creations continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness of your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral services was held with his family and very few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolences gifts, visiting offerings, and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Future plan for commemorative gathering is not decided. We will let you know when it's confirmed. We deeply thank you for the understanding and support as always. And this was released March 8th.
You know what? I think that should possibly be a thing.
I
feel like that would actually. I feel like we should maybe. I get that's very Japanese.
Yeah.
Of being very private, and we're gonna hold this. In all fairness, I think that's how most celebrity deaths should be handled.
But you're 100% right that it's a cultural thing because what
it's
shocked me the most
it's very Japanese.
was that he passed away March 1st. We didn't find out about it until yesterday at night.
Yes.
So it's like, holy crap, like this is several days afterwards. But again, completely understandable because it's none of our business when someone passes away.
Nope.
It should be a personal family issue that they should have that time to grieve and not be bombarded with like interview offers or like public stuff.
Could you imagine when like Robin Williams died
Mm.
And his wife is dealing, his kids are dealing with it. They're still trying to, figure everything else out. And all you have is reporters as you're trying to like set up funeral arrangements and doing everything like that. And all they're doing is just banging on your door and blowing up your phone.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine how much of a nightmare that is.
Yeah.
I think this is very respectful. I think this should be taken and be recreated for more celebrity deaths. So that way,
standard.
as like the standard of kind of going like, it's none of your damn business.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's a public figure, and we'll come out later and everything like that. But the family should have privacy.
Mm-hmm.
They should have privacy during this time to mourn, because as much as it hurts us, it hurts them way more.
Yeah.
And I think that idea of like, don't send us flowers or gifts or anything like that within this period is understandable as well, because having to have that reminder constantly that this person passed away is hard. I know that when I lost my dad, it's like, you don't want to be reminded of it constantly. It sticks with you even like several years afterwards. The thing you don't want to experience is being told like, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's respectful,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to hear it constantly after like a couple days, because you're just like, I get it.
Just want to move forward.
Just move on.
Not only that, but also, I mean, let's be honest. Akira Toriyama has touched the lives of maybe of a billion people.
Yeah.
Like he really has, he's effectively been, I know he kind of shaped the way that I enjoy anime. He was my starter for getting this culture into it. Actually, Toonami even says we would not, the community would not be in the place we were in if it was not for you.
Dragon Ball was the gateway anime for a lot of people. It was my gateway anime.
It is very much the gateway anime. It's the gateway anime that got a lot of people, even my students now, when I talk to them about it, Goku is one of the most recognizable characters right there, up to probably Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can show a picture of Goku and go, who is this, to a 4-year-old? And he will go, that is Goku.
Yeah.
Same thing with Vegeta and Piccolo. They'll all go, Goku, Vegeta. And that goes to say on how much of a influential person that he was.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't do the Kamehameha? Who has not gone, who hasn't tried to do the Spirit Bomb?
Yeah, man.
It's iconic.
I remember when I was a kid, we used to play Dragon Ball Z, and it was so funny because we would do it, and because of the show, I would just stand like this for an entire recess. And then my buddy was like, oh, all right, cool, I'm gonna fight him off. And I'm like, I got you, dude. And then I would just stand like that.
You're just charging up.
I was just charging, and then I'm like, and then they were like, oh, when are you gonna do something? And I'm like, at the next recess. That's
Find out on
that's when it's
recess
ready.
on Tuesday.
That's when it's ready.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna take 2 recesses.
I will-
Will Nick charge up in time
Find
to
out
save
in the
the
next
sea biters?
on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Find
No.
out on lunch recess.
There's 2 things one thing I still do, and one thing that actually helped me eat my vegetables when I was a kid. So the first thing is, as an adult, still to this day,
Yeah.
I will still do this.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
I will still try to teleport out of here.
Anybody who
Instant
does-
transmission.
I think anybody who, which is interesting because it's a very significant way of kind of showing I'm teleporting, because I feel like
Yeah.
even Rene, you don't really watch anime.
Well, no, that, and then I didn't watch Dragon Ball when I was a kid because I was poor. So I didn't have
I'm not
satellite
gonna
or
lie. I
Yeah.
will give you my Crunchyroll.
No,
And you
I have
can
your
watch it.
Crunchyroll already. I just haven't
Gosh, you
used
should
it.
really watch it.
I know.
You should really watch it.
I
will
did.
really
I
use
did
it.
watch. I have watched. What is it? Dragon Ball Z. Not abridged, but it was
Kai.
Yeah,
Kai?
not Kai. No, it was like the early ones before they were re-edited in,
the
Cartoon
ocean
Network.
It
yeah.
was the
Oh.
ocean ones.
Yes. Yeah. So
The ocean dubs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are rough.
So
Yeah.
so the instant transmission I'll still do. I did it this morning too. I was running late to work, and I'm just like, not today. Damn, dude. One of these days. Oh my god. Just gotta think real hard.
He's just yelling at Joey. Ah!
No, if it's Joey, I'll just be like this. Just try to do it.
I've always loved what was it, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where he's like, yeah, Tien making triangles into squares.
Yeah. I think one of my first introductions to Dragon Ball, it was like the early 2000s when they were making Dragon Ball edits with Linkin Park music.
Oh, the
that's
OVAs.
The one I saw that was
The
just
OVAs.
yeah, the one that just kind of like always imprinted on me was the Gohan one, where it was which song was it? It was
Numb.
In the End.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and it shows like Gohan's like great, his rise,
his
his
rise
growth.
to
his
power.
growth, and he takes on what is it, Frieza or something?
I always
Cell.
I always
Cell,
think
yeah.
it's super funny because Akira Toriyama he was a great creator and he was and everything else. Man really needed to learn how to take a note, like just write stuff down
Yeah.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff that he just forgot about.
Well,
Yeah.
he also
'Cause-
admitted that GT was not his favorite.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact of there's an entire character that he had in one series of Dragon Ball, and then in the next series she was gone,
Oh,
and no one knows where she went.
it's the blue-haired chick, right?
Yeah,
It's
it-
I forget her name. I know you're talking about. She made an appearance in Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Yeah, but basically what happened was that somebody actually asked Toriyama what happened to her. What happened to her? And then he was like, "I'm not gonna lie, I forgot she existed. I'm 100%. I forgot she existed.
She was in Dragon Ball, but she's not in Z, so we got to add her somehow.
Yeah, and then eventually he added her in Super, and then he like came up with like she went to go do other stuff
somewhere else.
She went to go like live her life instead of just being at Master Roshi's place.
So the other thing that Dragon Ball did for me was it helped me eat my vegetables because
Wow.
sensu beans,
Suji beans, yeah.
sensu beans, they were like lima beans. My mom loved giving me stuff I didn't like, and
So she would say that they were sensu beans.
no, so she would feed me lima beans, and in order for me to get through it,
Yeah.
I would think they're sensu beans.
Well, lima beans were not.
You're
really that bad.
scarred, bud.
Yeah.
You have so much.
My mom fed
damage.
me onions because I didn't like onions, so I had to get over
like
that.
raw
really?
onions,
No, like she put them in every meal. She's like, it adds flavor. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
but they
Just
were like
food
raw.
slimy.
They were like
Does.
raw, or
No, she would make them in like beans and stuff
You
like
know,
that.
You know what's funny? I didn't when I was a kid. So my dad did that to me where I didn't for some reason as a kid I didn't like eggs.
I'm
at all.
fat. I ate
I-
everything.
I never liked the taste of eggs.
Really?
I never liked the
How about now?
texture and stuff. No, well I love
That makes
eggs
sense.
now.
Yeah.
But as a kid I didn't care for them, and
Yeah.
stuff. So but I would eat eggs if he made chorizo.
Oh.
But there would be days, the budget would be tight. But he this is where he got smart. He would mix eggs, season them, put potatoes, cheese, and then like hot dogs in it.
Uh-huh.
And guess what he would call it? White chorizo. I'm like, oh, what's for breakfast? And he goes, oh, I'm making chorizo. I'm like, dude, where's the sausage thing? He goes, oh no, I'm making white chorizo. I'm like, okay. But he would just season it to hell,
with
and just-
paprika and stuff.
yeah, so like get rid of like the taste of the eggy taste and stuff like that. It would be really good.
that's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. You gotta get around it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace,
That's how you
Akira
bear it.
Toriyama. Thank you so much for
That's how you
everything you've
bear it,
done, and hopefully the family finds peace soon. Because
I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting because there was a post where somebody said it's interesting that Akira Toriyama died in 2024 for the 4-star ball, and he died in the year of the dragon.
What a way to go out.
Yeah, he went out.
He went out with Shenron.
He went out with Shenron.
Not to mention, I mean, now it kind of shows like these manga writers or creators need to wrap their stories up. Like you guys are not getting any younger.
Didn't
Like,
the author of Berserker
he died.
die?
he died too.
He died.
But
before his story.
He has a journal that he left to the artists.
Yeah.
And it's a way to pave the road to the ending.
Okay.
So he wrote the end. That's why when I was talking to a buddy of mine at work, I was like, man, I'm hoping he like told people where he was going.
Yeah.
Like, I really
Right?
hope like he had a journal or he had like
Yeah.
he had drawings
Yeah.
or something, so that way everybody's not like, well, what were we supposed to do?
Yeah,
Like,
George R. R. Martin should do that as well too.
I don't
I
think
think
he will.
I think he
he's
does.
stubborn. Yeah.
But it's the same thing with One Piece. Because
Yeah.
One Piece also, his story's been going on for a little long, and he's getting up there in age, and people are going like, "Hey, man, like you need to end this soon."
We need to
And
find the
he's-
One Piece, all right?
Yeah, like we either need to find the One Piece, or we need to like figure out like
wrap this up before life wraps you up. Let's go.
how mad would you be if like at the very end of 2,000 episodes, it was like the One Piece are the friends that we made along the way.
That sounds like they couldn't come up with an ending.
I don't know
How
why.
mad- how-
I felt my soul leave my body for
Yeah.
a second. I was just like, that's the stupidest thing you can
Yeah.
say.
It's just. Oh my
I would have
God.
preferred
No,
like
it's-
one token or something like
But
that.
like, what if that's the One Piece?
No.
That's definitely a Kung Fu Panda 1 ending, where the Dragon Scroll is like, it's just a reflection.
Yeah.
And it's just like there is no secret ingredient.
It's you all
It's
along.
you all along. Like
Speaking of which, Kung Fu Panda 4 is
Kung Fu
out.
Panda's
Apparently it's
4.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited to watch it. I thought it was funny because I was talking to Monica and I'm
Is
like,
it the last one?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I was talking to Monica about it and I was like, Monica, do we have anything to do this weekend? And she goes, yeah, we have stuff to do this weekend. And I'm like, can we
squeeze?
I was like, can we steal your niece and nephew? And she was like, I mean, we don't have to steal them. We can just ask for them. Why? And I'm like, I want to go see Kung Fu Panda 2.
I think I might do that with Andy
I
tomorrow.
want to go see Kung Fu Panda 4. And then she was like, we can just go see Kung Fu. I was like, I don't want to be that weird couple in the Kung Fu Panda.
No, but it came out when we were kids.
I don't care.
You reached that age demographic.
Were you there when Poe's dad was not
Yes.
his dad?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did you feel?
The
No.
whole time? Yes.
He's
a goose. He's a goose.
Yeah.
He's a panda. He's
All
a
right,
goose.
we gotta move on.
He's not his dad.
We got to move on. So, moving on to more news. Ted has been the #1 most watched comedy series in the U.S. for 2 months in a row, per Nielsen reports, as reported by Seth MacFarlane.
I finished Ted.
It's-
Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Good.
It's in its debut.
Yeah, I finished it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
In its debut, 3 days in, it has been Peacock's most watched original title ever. And per television stats, it is ranked second in audience engagement compared to other shows on Peacock.
I would say Ted, the series, is better than Ted 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
I haven't
definitely
seen Ted 2 yet, but
Ted 2 is which it's definitely it suffers from sequel.
yeah.
Mhm.
From being a sequel where it's not as funny. I do feel that
It's-
Ted the show has
yeah.
those moments.
The jokes in Ted 2 are just Seth MacFarlane trying to top or cash in on what worked in Ted 1.
Mhm.
Like, how can I do that again in the sequel and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh yeah, Ryan Gosling will be performing "I'm Just Ken" at the Oscars, backed
for
by
him.
65
yeah.
male dancers. This will be one of the
Sweet.
biggest, best original song performances at the Oscars. And honestly, kind of glad that it's "I'm Just Ken"
Mhm.
and not the Billie Eilish song.
Oh.
Both great songs, but I'm over it.
It's been honestly, yeah. I also just don't like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I don't like Billie. I don't. I thought it was funny because what was it? Monica was telling me about Billie Eilish, and I was like,
Yeah.
and then she was like, I know you don't like Billie Eilish, but I'm telling you things. And
No,
I'm like,
I don't like her as a person.
And I was like, I just don't like her as a person.
Yeah, as a
Like,
person.
Really?
No, she's
I hate her as a person.
really
She's
problematic person.
She's,
How so?
She's kind of a jerk.
Yeah,
Is
she's
she
a jerk.
really?
Yeah.
She's a problem.
Oh.
She says she doesn't date guys that are prettier than her or less than prettier than her because then that point she's just like a prize to them, and she doesn't want to give that to a normal looking dude.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
thought she
then
was lesbian.
No, that's
She's
another
bi.
thing too. She's
She's
bi.
bi.
But the media is
I wasn't-
spinning on that she's a lesbian.
I wasn't talking about just her preferences. I was just talking about just in general. Like she's like just
not a
in
good
general,
person.
she's
No,
a
but she
bad
just said-
person.
no,
She's the
she-
same. It's the same thing with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift
Yeah.
is also a bad person.
Yeah. And I also heard that Billie Eilish and I call her Billie Eilish and Ariana Grande, their houses are dirty. Like they don't do anything. They just focus on their maids or people or house cleaners that do it. But because they have pets and they just
They just poo
crap everywhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the same. Again, not comparable, but I see it a lot with like streamers, for example. Streamers are a good example of people
Streamers
that
are
like.
disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, how do
Yeah.
you not, dude? Some of these streamers when they do interviews, like, yeah, I don't know how to cook. I just order everything off of Grubhub or like Uber Eats, and I'm like, how do you live?
No, yeah, they're basically just like coming out of their parents' house and stuff. And
Bro,
then
do
they
you,
get
do you
paid.
which I ever seen? I forget. I forget. There was a streamer that was which he was showing off his house.
Oh, is it that Minecraft guy or something like that?
Oh,
Yeah.
he has a
show-
computer company, Asmongold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asmongold was like showing off his house, and
Yeah.
then like because he lives with his dad, and
No,
he was showing off his house.
His mom.
Oh, he lives with his mom.
He lives with his
Eh,
mom, yeah.
But anyway, he
I've
was
seen
going.
those TikToks, yeah.
Yeah, he was going through like his house, and then like two other YouTubers were like going like, "Dude, when was the last time you like did dishes?"
That was Ludwig.
Mhm.
I remember. I saw those.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's-
and I was just kind of like, man, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Like, that's some, and he was like, yeah, like I have a roach problem too.
And the roach grows over like his shoulder. Yeah, I've seen that. It's gross.
And it's like, dude, that's
His bed
nasty,
is just
man.
dirty too. There's trash and food. Like
I can understand a little bit of
wrappings.
dirt, like
Yeah.
a little bit of dirtiness. Like I have my desk at home is like cluttered with stuff.
Mine's
Yeah.
mostly clothes.
yeah. See,
Mine's
and
closed.
But that's-
my room suffers from clutteredness.
But you can clean.
Yeah.
Can you do laundry?
Yes.
Can you cook? These people don't know how to
You
do
know,
that.
you know what's really funny? My room suffers from clean clothes. I don't like to fold. No,
I
I'm
need
being,
this
I'm being,
hamper.
100, I'm being, no, I'm being 100%. Like honestly,
But are
like,
the clothes clean?
They're clean.
So you're
They're-
doing more
and they're-
effort
and they're-
than some of these
and
people.
they're
Yeah.
just like scattered over my bed, and then like I like when I'm done, I throw them in the hamper, and then I just pull another piece of clothing off.
Do you do the smell check?
I have.
Yeah,
I've done
do-
that.
yeah,
I've done that
it
before.
too,
I
yeah.
don't do the smell check because I can't. I
You have a wife. I don't expect you to.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't watch. She doesn't watch the clothes.
I'm not saying in general,
No,
just-
but I know this person like you fold and put it away. And
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
that's me.
You're-
That's me.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we went from Ryan Gosling to cleaning stuff and whatnot. So
he's
sure,
a
whatnot.
very clean man. Have you ever seen Ryan Gosling?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he's a great looking dude.
He's
Yeah.
with Eva Longoria too.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's what?
He's with Eva Longoria.
Is he really?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 kids.
I don't, dude. I don't follow that celebrity stuff.
They're
I
not
just-
married though.
No,
They're just together.
They're
Good
yeah,
for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for him.
Dennis Villeneuve reveals that he was able to show Dune Part 2 to a dying man a month and a half before it hit theaters. He passed away a few days later, per Global
Oh my
News.
God.
Stop. Stop. As I was writing this note, I was
Yeah.
just like, there's a joke somewhere in here
Yeah.
that Nick's going to say, and I know it, and it's like, dude, we're talking about a dying man, but what's the joke? Go ahead and say it.
Waleed. I really wish, I'm really hoping that as he was going out, and as like and it was like, just like the, and then somebody just whispered in his ear, Waleed. And then he left this world.
Oh my God.
And he had the biggest, and he just like had like the just yes, Dune.
Here's the thing. Dune Part 2, even though it ends in a cliffhanger, is a good enough ending that if you were to like, now that he's passed.
If you were gonna die,
Yeah. Was there a movie that you would want to see before you like passed?
Before I passed?
Yeah, like let's say that there's like a death on you, and like what's the one movie you would like to see
that hasn't come out yet.
that hasn't come out yet?
Oh, if I was like, let's say I was dying next
Yeah.
week.
The Batman 2.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
one.
The Batman 2 would probably
Yeah.
be a good one.
Either the Batman 2 or Superman Legacy. It
Yeah.
depends. It depends on the time frame. Like if I know like Superman Legacy is coming out, and
I'll
if
go
I
with-
have like another 6 months, I would tweet to James.
I
Gunn.
would go with The Brave and the Bold.
Oh, okay.
I'd go with The Brave and the Bold.
I
want
do. I
to
think-
see where they're going.
Either that or have the director read me the script.
I would do that for Legacy.
Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see what, because I could picture James Gunn. No, never mind. Take it back. Not a film. I would want to see what his idea is for the opener of Peacemaker season 2.
That would actually
What's the
be
plot?
really fun.
Yeah.
I don't. No, just the opener.
He just
I
wants
just want the
to-
title
he
sequence.
just wants to be there.
Yeah.
Have
Where are
a-
we
have
filming
a-
now?
I want to
John
see
Cena
it.
will visit you.
I just
in
think
the
it-
costume.
Dude.
Dude, that would honestly, yeah. I can you put the gun to your head though?
Oh, please. Can I wear the helmet?
Dude,
Yeah.
it would be so funny if you were like, "Can you pull my plug?" Like just hold the gun
Bring
to
me
my
peace,
head.
please.
Yeah, hold the gun to my head, and then when they pull the plug, just like
This is for peace.
I'll do anything to keep peace.
Dude, that's so
kill-
morbid. Would you tell John Cena to pull the plug?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Could he live with himself doing that? You think so?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, man, because he already played he already did it for that Robin Williams movie.
If I was gonna have a celebrity at my deathbed, Morgan Freeman,
Yes,
because he's God. I'd be like, can you tell me I'm gonna go to a better place? Right.
you're
before
going
he
to a
dies?
better place.
You
my
are
son.
going to a better place.
What about Christopher Walken?
They're gonna pull the plug.
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh no!
Oh no!
They're
You're dying.
We did the wrong one.
Now, which plug do I pull? Oh, that's his oxygen. Oh, he's not really dying. I guess I did it.
I saved his life. Somebody get the watch out of my ass.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Which
Here's
one?
here's what I want. I want Nicolas Cage, but he needs to dress up as Mandy. as his character
What?
from Mandy.
He doesn't speak.
I know, but
No,
I just want him dressed up and covered in blood. His
want
hair all
him-
wild.
Yeah. I want him to do the thing from Gone from 60 Seconds where he's like, hold on, don't pull the plug yet. All right, pull it.
when he shakes his fingers and then he goes, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
What if you had to play a game where
Yeah.
you had to do Nicolas Cage like quotes, and whoever lost had to pull the plug, and it was between you and Nicolas Cage.
No, I was just kidding. Who could be the more cage?
Who could out cage
The
Cage?
Me in the cage. In a cage.
What about Michael Rooker?
Michael Rooker? Oh.
Like Michael Rooker just
Yeah.
walking in, just like, hey.
So you're dying.
Could you imagine just like asking him, can you dress up as Yondu? Like,
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Just walks in the room.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
my
You guys
God.
done? You guys got one more in you?
no, it's
I
fine.
got one
All right. You got one more?
He goes, looks at you while you're like, where's your daddy? He's just like,
You know what? Tom Cruise.
What would Tom Cruise do by your
I
bed?
just
then?
no,
wanted-
Tom Cruise comes to your bed. He's all, I'm going to put you on a fighter jet. Let's go.
No,
You ever felt the forces of 8 G's on
Yeah.
you?
no, because I just want.
He wouldn't
that-
pull the plug.
no.
He'd make you feel 8 G's and then you'd pass out and die.
I think it would be so much funnier because he would just bash through the window. like
Comes just through a parachute.
and then he goes, "Did my all stunts? Let's do this."
Here's how you'll know if Tom Cruise is visiting your deathbed if there's a stool right next to your bed. So that way he can actually be that.
No, you're not even dying. He pulled this whole stunt like Mission Impossible. You know, he's the doctor, pulls the mask off, everything's falling. And
you
you're
know
like,
what?
and you're like,
Yeah,
"Wait,
dude.
what's going on?" You know, you're not really dying.
dun, 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 dun.
Just drinks you.
It's like no, but
It's that scene from
Yeah.
Ghost Nation.
what I really want is like, oh, you're not dying. It's like, but I signed paperwork. Now you're a Scientologist. You owe me millions.
Welcome to Scientology. You're tied up. You're
You're
at
not
the
actually in a
church.
hospital.
Yeah.
The walls drop.
You're in the church. That's the thing.
Crap, dude.
That was good.
I really want that. I really want that so bad.
Make a wish, dude. Just
That's my make-a-wish. That is my make-a-wish. I
Have
want
Tom
the walls
Cruise
to...
dupe you into joining Scientology
Scientology.
before you die. But you're not even dying.
And then
It's a preempt thing. You go to the
But
doctor.
I want the walls to fall. I want the
Yeah.
mask to come up. Like, it has to be the whole thing.
This has to be like 6 months ahead of time. You go to the doctor and they go, "We found this lump." And they're like, "Oh no, okay."
And the whole time it's been Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Just every single time it's always Tom
No,
Cruise.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, so you got on your doctor," and it's just Tom Cruise in a mask. He's all like, "All right, so yeah, we found this lump. We're gonna have to check, but 9 times out of 10, these are benign." Comes back a week later, and the next thing you know, yeah, it's not benign. Just like you have about maybe like 3 months.
I would love to see the Scientologist recruiting video on that one. I'm just like, this is our training video.
Yeah, this is-
We're going to pretend to be doctors.
All right. Oh my god, dude. Done.
Oh my
done,
God, we are an
done,
hour
done, done.
in. We still haven't even gotten into
We
our
haven't
main
got any
topics.
Yeah.
All right, so
Burn
next
through 'em.
piece of news: Avatar: The Last Airbender is greenlit for another 2 seasons on Netflix. The series will end with season 3, meaning it will follow the structure of the animated series.
So is
Yeah,
season
rebooting.
1 book 1? then?
Yes.
Okay.
It ends with northern water temple.
it'll end with fire. No,
Yes.
yes, because book
Yes.
4 is air. That's right,
Book 4 is not. Well, book 4 is air,
but it's Korra,
but it's Korra.
the best one.
I'll stab you. I
All
will
right.
fight you.
How about
in
you save that energy for this dumbass? This week?
I will fight you.
Can you
and
just
your-
let me
your
speak
wife.
about this one? Okay,
will
look.
fight
Okay,
your
I want to get
wife.
over this because I will get mad physically talking about this.
I know. I can see it.
Zack Snyder appears on the Joe Rogan Experience to talk about his films, specifically Rebel Moon and his DC films. This is the first part, okay? Actually, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do this part of it, okay? Because he decided to talk about the viewership compared to Barbie.
Yeah.
Barbie grossed a 1.4 billion worldwide for Warner Brothers, becoming one of the highest grossing films in history. That is the impact that Barbie has had.
Facts.
This is the direct quote.
Not facts.
This is the direct quote from the Joe Rogan Experience. You think about Netflix, for instance, where you push a button, Snyder said. Rebel Moon, right? Say right now it's almost at 90 million views, right? 80 or 90 million accounts turn it on, give or take. They assume 2 viewers per screening, right? That's the kind, what is it? Give or take, they assume 2 viewers per screening, right? That's the kind of math. So you think if that movie was set in theaters as a distribution model, that's like 160 million people supposedly watching, based on that math. 160 million people at $10 a ticket would be what? Is that math? I don't know.
The math ain't math.
160 million times 10. That's 1.6 billion. So more people probably saw Rebel Moon than saw Barbie in theaters, right? Okay, so first of all.
There's so many things wrong with this whole
first of
quote.
all.
It was really funny because the first thing that Bryan put in the chat was, first off, imagine tickets were being $10.
Right?
No. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
That is what you said.
No. Keep going. What did I say?
So
No, because I said imagine tickets being $10.
Because you started cursing immediately. I don't think I can use these language without bleeping the whole thing.
Deleted.
Which imagine tickets being 10 expletive dollars. Imagine actually believing tickets are 10 expletive dollars.
Yeah. This is an actual quote.
This is actual quote. Then Bryan proceeded to then go, at Meta AI.
Yeah.
How can I physically punch someone through the internet?
Mind you, what was your thought process?
I didn't have a thought process.
Yeah.
I saw red.
So Meta AI responded to Bryan in our chat, which this is what made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because
this is why we're talking
because
about this.
Then it started with not, hey, this is what your response was. It started with, ha!
Wait, he actually laughed at me?
Yeah.
Meta AI laughed at your request.
I didn't even read its quote.
And
I was
went,
so mad.
Ha! Well, I'm glad you're feeling feisty, but I'm afraid it's not physically possible to punch someone through the internet. Smiling, crying, laughy face emoji. The internet is a virtual space, and our interactions are limited to digital communication. No physical harm can come to someone online interaction. In parentheses, thank God. Instead, why not try to resolve any conflict or disagreements through peaceful means, like a respectful conversation or meditation? Let's keep the internet a safe and welcoming place for people. Bryan replies, at Meta AI, nah! We're beyond respectful conversation. Zack Snyder chose violence. This is not my fault. At Bryan from Meta AI. I see well. I understand that you might be frustrated with Zack Snyder's creative choices, but let's not take it too far.
I love how he even said, like, listen, I know you're mad at Zack Snyder, but get over it.
You really need to get over. And then it then said, smiley face crying.
Yeah.
Advocating for violence is never the answer, even in the world of online fandoms. Mind blown. It's important to remember that there are real people behind the screens with feelings and opinions that deserve respect. Instead of resorting to violence, why not channel that energy into constructive criticism and creative expression? Write a script, draw some fan art. Remember, the internet is a powerful tool to connect. At Meta AI from Bryan, I hate you. Meta AI to Bryan. Oh no! I'm so sorry you hate that. I'm here to help and support you.
I can't satisfy you.
I make things right. Can you tell me what's upsetting you? Maybe we can work through.
Yeah, the AI is trying to help you
The
out.
AI
man.
is only trying to be your friend.
Yeah, you're not accepting it.
I'm all about positivity and good vibes, and I don't want anyone to feel unhappy or upset. Let's
The
chat.
AI is more human than you.
Yeah. Not only that, but also, I don't know why the AI wants to chat with you. That's weird. Chat and see if we
Because it
can
wants to
turn
learn.
your frown upside down. BRB, I'll end myself. Mind you, I was at work. So I didn't actually see this happening in real time. I saw this slightly after Bryan put, I'm going to end myself.
I kept seeing Bryan, then Meta AI. Bryan, Meta,
Meta
AI.
AI. Bryan, Meta AI.
And I'm just like, what's
What
this
is
conversation
going on?
going? I'm all like,
And then I put, this is the best. At Bryan is fighting with an AI. I just stopped. I was like, oh, God.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You had a full argument with an AI.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't read anything that Meta AI.
It was
said to
great,
me.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I was more along the lines of like, just give me the goddamn answer. How do I physically punch someone through a screen? I'm so angry.
This is why I put, this is the best thing I've read. Because it was so funny.
yeah.
I was like, it's trying its best to calm you down, but it doesn't understand who you are.
Yeah, it doesn't really understand how Bryan works.
Yeah, and it doesn't understand that he only sees red right now.
Mhm.
So were you dying at work?
Oh, it was, dude, I had like 20 kids with me, and I was cracking up. And they did not know what was going on. I had to leave the room. I had to walk out of the room because I was laughing uncontrollably.
Should we screenshot those and put it in like a
Oh
social
my
media
God,
post?
dude. That needs to be a sticker of just Bryan losing to an AI.
I want you already.
Hold up, I didn't lose to an AI.
The AI took the high ground,
No,
and
no.
you said,
I like
I
how
just
you-
want to
I
kill
don't want
myself.
the goddamn high ground. Who the hell says $10 tickets at the theater, dude?
Don't get me wrong.
That's like going to Ralph's and thinking a gallon of milk is still $2.
Listen,
That's true.
hold on. Not only, let's be honest.
No,
It's a Joe-
we're beyond honesty.
it's the Joe Rogan podcast. No one listens to it anymore.
That and they don't really have to worry about paying for anything,
Yeah,
especially
not-
a movie ticket.
Not only that, but also my thing is that I feel like Zack Snyder doesn't understand that people only watch stuff because it's available.
Yeah.
And it's new.
Yeah.
And the algorithm is telling me I should watch this because I'll probably like it.
Yeah,
If-
to be honest, if Rebel Moon was in theaters,
It would
half
not
of
have
that,
done well.
half that or less of the people would see it in
Yeah,
theaters.
because
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, see,
it's not a revolutionary story. It doesn't do anything, and I get why Disney passed.
Yeah.
I 100% understand where when they were like, when he was like, it's gonna be dark and gritty and it's gonna be so sick, and then Disney was like,
I'm gonna have Anthony Hopkins in it.
it's gonna be cool, I guess. And it's like, oh, Anthony Hopkins signed on, and they were like, dude, Anthony Hopkins, like that's sick. What role? And he's like, he's the robot.
He's voicing the robot.
Doesn't he leave in like the first 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's gonna come back in the second one. So that's
Second
why we
one.
gotta come back and redo this.
That's what we gotta do too.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's an idiot.
Well, he's an even bigger idiot because he also talks about the DC media space
Yes. Yeah.
and their fan base by basically saying that DC and their fan base is making Batman irrelevant by enforcing the no-kill rule.
He's an idiot.
Quote, you're protecting your god in a weird way. Here's the thing. The quote was kind of taken out of context, but reading more into it doesn't help his case.
Yeah.
So this perspective is due to his deconstructive approach to character development. Quote, what would happen if Batman killed criminals? Like that's kind of his thought
Yeah.
process. So he never wanted to place his heroes in situations where they always can win. Rather, he questions why they have to maintain their godlike status. He also states that the MPA, who's the board that's in charge of rating movies, they kept rating Batman versus Superman as R because they did not like to see Batman fighting Superman.
Yeah.
This is why he claims that he was forced to trim down the movie, and that the director's cut of that version of that movie
Yeah.
is
The Ultimate
better.
Edition. Yeah.
Is
No,
better in general.
It really is because it's a smoother movie
Yeah.
of like character
It makes
decisions.
a lot more sense.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of character decisions that you're just like, why?
Why would you do this?
Why?
would you do
Why
that?
is not
Yeah.
only that, but also like, why are people dying in prison?
But see,
who's murdering them?
Yeah.
so
Why is Batman just assuming that Clark is evil? Why is
that's
Clark
an-
just making a lot of assumptions?
that's the
my
thing.
thought process of this no kill rule is
Mhm.
so stupid because it's like, well, let me be the first person to deconstruct this, and I'm like, they did this way back in the early 2000s in the
Mhm.
first episode of Batman Beyond. He's literally fighting some criminals. He
Mhm.
points a gun and I think he shoots it, right?
Yeah.
And
He doesn't
like
fire
has
it. No, he doesn't fire
he doesn't
it.
fire.
No,
it.
he does.
He's shaking and he holds it up
Yeah.
and he's bleeding. And,
It's
and
to show that he
He
couldn't
wants
do
to-
it on his own.
So then we
He has
get
to
that
rely on it.
perspective that it
Mhm.
forces a retirement.
but
So it's not the deconstruction of the character. It's you want a different perspective to challenge what's the norm, the normacy of this whole thing.
But the thing is that this isn't the first time that's ever been thought of, and even Batman Beyond wasn't the first time that ever been thought of, too, because they did it before with the Justice Lords. They do that with Owlman. They do
Mhm.
that with all these different characters because even in like Bruce Timm's, in Bruce Timm's Justice League, they do it with the Justice Lords, where they're driving around Gotham and everything else, and then even Batman is talking to Batman.
Mhm.
And he's like, wow, I've never seen Gotham so clean. Where's all the crime? Where's all the litter? Where's everything else? And he goes, well, if people don't focus on the small laws, they'll never focus on the big laws. And then you then see somebody making a scene at a restaurant, and he basically is making a scene of going like the food was bad, everything like that, and then he gets taken away, very much Gestapo-esque.
Mhm.
And then you can see the Batman who's a Justice Lord staring at this, the person who's like basically made these people his prisoners. And he goes, don't you think Mom and Dad would be proud of what you've done? Because you've now become a dictator.
Mhm.
That's what you did. You left no one to free choice because you became judge, jury, and executioner. So now you make the law.
So then what Zack Snyder did in Batman versus Superman is just focus on the executioner portion of it.
Yeah, but what he did wasn't revolutionary. All he did is he read Flashpoint, and he was like, dang, that Batman's pretty sick. He uses guns.
Yeah.
He runs a casino. That's pretty sick. I want to do that. That's pretty cool. But let's do it Bruce instead of
think
doing Thomas.
From a deeper perspective, I think Zack Snyder's problem when it comes to story writing is that his ideas are really, really good. Like I think he
No, they're
has,
not.
hang on, in writing, like the foundation of what he wants to start might look really, really good. But then he figures out halfway through, there's no middle portion to the story. So everything begins to fall apart.
Mhm.
And I noticed that with Rebel Moon when you guys are talking about it. It's like the coolest character that we were introduced in Rebel Moon is the robot because he has the most significant impact to the main character that we decide to follow
Yeah.
in the first 10 minutes of the
Not
film.
only that, but also he has the most interesting backstory.
And what ends up happening
He
is gone.
Just
So
no, he
it's-
leaves, has his own, off-screen story
comes
arc.
back with antlers, and you're
Yeah,
like,
and
what
he's
happened to
like a
that
shaman
guy?
now, like a robot shaman or
Where
something.
did he
like
come
that.
from?
But
What
that's
happened to
my
him?
point. That's my point is that he understands what can make a character really interesting. Even you saw the Army of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
Army of the Dead was pretty interesting, but then when you look at the story, it's okay. Start at the beginning,
Yeah.
falls apart towards the end, and the only thing enjoyable out of that whole movie was just the action.
But you know what the
That
thing
made
is?
it
I
kinda
always
good.
thought it was super interesting because Zack Snyder really knows how to make a backstory that I care more about than the movie he's actually showing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because Army of the Dead, they showed that entire prelude
Oh, yeah.
where like they're shutting off Vegas and they're dropping like the containers and they're blocking in all the zombies, and I was like, oh my god, this is such an
Yeah.
interesting
I would have
concept.
loved to see that as a
Yeah,
movie.
and then they were like, okay, cool, and then it ends, and then you're like, cool, they are now living their lives,
Mhm.
and then now we have to go back into that area and everything else, and it's like, I don't care about this movie. I want to go see the other movie.
He does the same thing in Watchmen when he does the opening sequence and you're watching like the Minutemen.
Mhm.
Like I would love to
I would
see the
love-
Minutemen, like their whole story.
That
and
would have been
stuff like-
sick. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen the Minutemen
Mhm.
story and
Mhm.
everything else, and kind of make it like an offshoot and go
Yeah.
like the Watchmen book is its own thing, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
going to touch it because we know that we'll never get
Yeah.
Grant Morrison's like approval.
Mhm.
Like he's never going to love it.
Yeah.
So why not just do something that we can kind of control, and let's do the Minutemen. Same thing with Batman versus Superman. How do you show a Bruce Wayne who is obviously lost his Robin, who has lost his Robin to the Joker, who has turned to just viciousness in Gotham City, and he's now branding his villains? How do I not want to watch that movie?
No,
That sounds so much interesting. I want to see the movie where it starts with Batman being Batman, and then Dick Grayson gets kidnapped and murdered by the Joker. And then now the rest of the movie, he's dealing with this. That is such a more interesting movie than I'm just going to do Batman and Superman. They're going to fight and then they're going to make up because both their moms are named Martha. Like, what?
Did we go see Batman vs Superman together?
No.
I didn't see it with you.
I forgot how I saw it then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I know you were in it, or you shot a scene for it.
Yes,
that
I was in
got cut,
Batman vs Superman.
but you were cut.
I'm in the extended version. I'm in the extended.
You're in the
version.
director's cut.
You're in
I am
the
in
ultimate cut.
I am in the. There's a football scene that's in the very beginning of the movie that the cops are watching. I'm in that scene.
Can we find you on there?
No, it's literally a TV like this small.
So
The very beginning of it says that the Gotham Knights got into a brawl at Metropolis Stadium, and that's the scene I shot.
But you're not in the movie.
I mean,
Your scene is in the movie, but
Are you
you're
credited?
No,
Oh.
I'm not. In the movie. I'm not credited. I was definitely an extra. It was at ELAC.
Did they pay you $100 for it at least?
No, but Zack Snyder was there.
Did you meet him?
No,
So then, what did you get?
I got a cool Gotham, Batman.
You wore it to
Gotham
work
City.
that one day. I remember. Where's it
did.
now?
Oh, that thing's so ruined. It's gone now. I honestly have no idea where it is.
The reward he got were the friends he made along the way.
I could probably find it on eBay.
Lame.
It was a cool shirt though.
Yeah.
It was a cool shirt. I did like it.
It's all
All right.
yellow.
Well, that
It's
wraps
really
up the end of comic strips. Ready to jump into the main topics?
Yeah, with 20 minutes left.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
We've been shooting an hour and 40-minute episodes
Yeah,
these last couple of
We
weeks.
have been doing like an hour 40,
I
almost
mean,
two.
it doesn't help that we're laughing our asses off over really
Well, we're
dumb jokes.
talking about, more exciting things.
like what? Tom Cruise coming over to your bed as you die?
You cackled so much. I'm going to ask
You
you to
did
make a
too.
reel. Yeah, because I made a funny joke.
Not only
We
that,
all
but
made-
also just reading your reaction inside of a chat. Because you're a ridiculous person. You are a
Well,
ridiculous
did they
person.
make robots better?
They did.
Yeah.
It laughed at you. They
They're all
made this
gonna
robot
laugh at you.
even the robot laughed at you
Blake, you
and
know
thought
what?
you were ridiculous.
That's why, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight AIs now, dude.
Even an AI
fight
thought you were
Skynet?
ridiculous.
You're gonna fight Skynet and the robots rise.
I'm gonna bring Chappie to fight Skynet. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's talk about Fallout,
Mhm.
because Fallout fans ate well this week.
Wait, hold on, really quick. Is that how
What?
we beat the robots? We hack into their systems, put in Chat GPT, and have Bryan chat with Chat GPT.
Heck yeah, dude! Jack me into the system, man. Gonna fight them, take them all in. Yeah, dude, I'm ready. Put me in there, dude. Meta AI, I'll take it down.
Got you.
Put me in there, dude. I'm ready. Fallout. They released a trailer March 7th, which basically shows off a more in-depth look of what we're going to be experiencing in this TV show. The TV series will debut on Amazon's streaming service April 11th, with every episode dropping at once. The trailer provides a more in-depth look at the setting, as well as kind of give a little more context to the story. We will see that this story is an original story being told by Jonathan Nolan. And Todd Howard approved this because it's not retelling any portion of what's canonical in this universe so far. That's why it happened to be greenlit. There were a lot of merch drops as well. Amazon now has a clothing line, figurines, miniatures for tabletop games. Collabs have been made. Jones Soda made Nuka Victory, which will be sold starting now, but their website's kind of weird about it. They say they have to run out of the limited edition run that they have now before they can go out and sell those. Arizona's selling energy drinks that have Fallout stuff in there. Bones Coffee is doing a collab with them. They're selling a new Pip-Boy die-cast replica. Just a bunch of different stuff.
Dude, Amazon was just throwing money at it.
Dude, they're just
Throw
dropping
money
so
at it.
much. IGN.
Jeff
IGN is
Bezos
selling-
was like, "Oh, we have stupid money. Let's just
Dude, just dump it, dude. How much you need? 50 million? I got you, dude.
we got
How
that.
much was the
Just
show?
put out a bunch of Nuka Cola.
I just think it's so funny of him just going like, how much did we spend making the show? We made 200 million. Spend that in advertising.
Double it.
Just double it in
Tax
advertising.
write-off.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
There was also an expo.
Those nerds will buy it.
What's it called? It's a what they said in the office. They have a certain budget every year, and if they don't use that said money like every year, it's then
gone.
they get cut. It
Yeah.
gets cut. So they had to spend like $2,000.
Oh, it was that episode of The Office.
Yeah, where they
were
talk
trying
about
to figure
the
out.
pay the
splurge fund, right?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like a whole, not a wholesale, but it's like
Like we have so much money,
an
but we
It's an
just-
allowance that they're given that they have to
basically.
spend.
Yeah, and
so
if
they
you
have
don't-
to spend that same amount every year, so they can keep getting that amount.
Yeah, exactly. Austin also had a small little what is it called? A convention where they did a small recreation of the town of Philly, which is the scrap town that we'll see in the show. There were all the actors, or a lot of the actors from the show, showed up there on the second day to kind of like take photos, do different things. They had a bar like they always do with Fallout themed cocktails. They had replicas of weapons, raiders, wastelanders, ghouls, and then the power armor that was there was a T60, which is pretty dope.
I'm not gonna lie, I will pretty much watch anything with Walter Goggins in it.
Walter Goggins, is he the ghoul?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll watch pretty much anything he's in.
He fits into that universe so well.
Well, you've obviously never seen Justified.
No, I haven't.
Justified.
Justified. He's a villain in Justified.
That's
he's
what, was he cowboyish Western?
He was a cowboy.
Then that's why it
well,
fits it
he's
so well.
think of more of like a hillbilly gang lord.
Remember the Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
The racist dude that was against Samuel
That was him?
Jackson?
That's
him.
also Walter
Okay, there you
Goggins.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Walter Goggins is great.
He's a good actor.
So then here's my
He's
thing.
you know what's really surprising though? He's great at comedy.
he really
He is so good at
He's
comedy.
so good at comedy.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
In the Fallout universe, there's a lot of drugs.
Mhm.
I want to see what he acts like on drugs.
Well, because he's the ghoul, and he's also, it looks like the ghoul is going to be not necessarily your main character, but I think he's going to be your shepherd through the story.
Yes. So from what I heard, from what is kind of being told, is that you're going to follow Lucy, who's the vault dweller
Yes.
that comes out of the.
Now, is
out of
Lucy
vault.
the character you play in the game?
No. So
Okay.
every character in every version of
Yeah.
the game is someone different.
Oh,
so
okay.
in Fallout 3, that's like everyone's mainly first Fallout. You
Mhm.
play the Lone Wanderer.
Mhm.
So that story is you trying to find your dad after he escapes the vault illegally because he wants to
Mhm.
purify water in the capital
Yeah.
wasteland. Fallout 4 is the sole survivor.
Yeah.
You're trying to find your son who was abducted in the vault,
Yeah.
and you're trying to figure out where he's at.
I know a lot of friends
Commonwealth.
love New Vegas.
New Vegas
New
is one of the
Vegas
best
is a
ones.
core. There's a funny meme
one
where
of the best
everyone
ones.
has like a tragic backstory.
Mhm.
And New Vegas's character is, you shot me in the head, now I'm gonna go out for revenge. That's
Think
it.
of-
He's a courier.
Yeah, he's a courier, but also think of New Vegas as like Thunderdome.
Welcome to Thunderdome.
Basically,
Like think of
He
Vegas
was-
as like just turning into like that Mad Max Thunderdome-ish, where like people are just fighting. And
Yeah.
it was the coolest
Super sick.
environment. It was the coolest setting,
Mhm.
but the dullest environment. I prefer the
For,
Capital Wasteland.
for Vegas, yeah.
Yeah,
It-
like
for it being in Vegas,
Yeah.
Capital
Fallout-
Wasteland was way cool.
oh, so much better. And then 76,
Yeah,
No one
you're
cares. It's fine.
oh, I love 76.
You loved 76?
I love 76.
76 is
Problems,
garbage.
dude.
So 76 had a problem because it came out with
problems,
so many glitches and so many issues.
Garbage.
And they didn't include any NPCs, so you were
Mhm.
literally playing by yourself. But I personally like that because I don't like relying on other people. So I literally was just traversing all of Appalachia by myself for
Yeah.
like 120 hours.
Mm.
I loved it. I just did not care how many
See,
glitches.
You'll flourish
During the
wasteland.
time-
Oh my
See,
god, I can't wait.
during the time of like
Flourish in the
Fallout and
Me
is
and Dog
it?
Meat.
Fallout, was it Fallout New Vegas and BioShock and
Ah,
Kill Switch? I always got those games confused. and stuff
fair
like
enough.
that.
I can see that.
Because I would get the BioShock lore confused with Fallout sometimes.
It's kind of the same. I mean, they all have drugs. It's
Yeah.
all apocalyptic and it's all based on like utopias that they try to figure out.
But I do have to admit, BioShock I feel like has a better backstory. With
Yeah.
like,
It's
with-
based off Brave New World.
it is based off of Brave New World, but it's just underwater.
Someone
Oh, and
told
up in
me,
the sky,
Yeah,
Columbia.
and up into the sky. Yeah,
someone
Columbia.
told me that the soundtracks for Fallout are really good
Oh, they're
because
amazing.
because the nuclear bombs hit right before rock and roll
So
hit
the
America.
So
Or-
it's
From the
backstory-
1950s.
yeah,
the-
so it's like very much 1950s, and it's just like right. You could tell it's gonna be right there of like rock and roll music, but it never goes any further.
So the
than that.
lore reason behind that, from what I've understood, is
Mhm.
that because nuclear fusion was discovered in the 1950s,
Mhm.
society just went stagnant. It basically
Yeah.
didn't progress anymore.
Mhm.
So technology advanced, and because we were so efficient with energy, every other resource was basically used up completely.
Yeah.
And so that's what started the war.
Yeah.
So all the cars basically look like antiques. That's
Yeah.
why they never really progressed in the models. Music never really grew up. The homes, the
There was
American
also-
dream kind of stayed.
But also the weapons went off in the 1950s as well. So and all the vaults were separated from each other. They had no there wasn't active communication inside the vaults.
So
Yeah.
76 kind of goes it goes a little more in depth into the vaults because you go visit Vault Tech and they
Yeah.
have lore dump that's in there.
Yeah.
So every vault was never made to save humanity. It was to experiment different social experiments. So when I forget the
Oh,
vault,
that's right. You told me something about that.
so
yeah.
my favorite vaults, because there's a sister vault to it, is a vault where it was 100 individuals stuck in the vault.
Yeah.
And it was one man and 99 women and 99 women and one man. And so what ended up happening is the vault with the one dude ended up lasting less than the other vault because the women would fight amongst each other and they ended up dying a lot faster. But the vault with the bigger group of men
stress levels, yeah.
ended up being more self-sufficient because they ended up working together.
Yeah.
There was another vault where it was just
super
one,
inbred as well.
yeah. There was also
inbred.
one vault
Yeah.
where it was one dude stuck with a bunch of puppets. I think that was in three. That was in 3. You
That one
end
was
up-
creepy.
That one's creepy because when you go in there, the walls are all like rusted and everything, and you just see dolls everywhere. And you find out reading that like the guy that was stuck
Just
in
went
his vault
nuts.
just went crazy and started pretending that people were actually there.
That'd be interesting if they dabble into that in the show.
So because it's they
Yeah.
kind of have they have to because it takes place in New California Republic. So you're going to
Yeah.
visit Shady Sands, which is in Fallout 1, and that's a New California Republic state. So we don't know what the experiment to 33 is, but they could mention the other vaults that are in California.
Yeah.
And they always briefly mention other vaults that
So,
exist around the world.
Now my question, because I never played the games. Who's the overarching villain in most of the games? Is
It's
it the
the-
company or
We
is
don't
it,
know.
So it depends on there is no overarching villain.
Yeah.
So
It's you.
So the thing is that you're
'Cause you're
dealing
alive.
you're dealing with the environment.
Oh, it's just the
So
world.
so imagine you showing up to Vegas and then somebody is in charge of Vegas. I'm now dealing with that person and the environment that they've built around them
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
to get whatever achievement that I'm trying to do. So like in 3, you're trying to what's it called? You were trying to find your dad, so then you had to like work with the Brotherhood or
So that's where it gets tricky because in 3, so
if I
4
remember correctly, you had to work with the Brotherhood to then
Yes.
find your dad, and then you had to find the location, and then the Brotherhood betrays you and tries to kill
no,
your
the
dad.
Enclave.
The Enclave tries
So
to betray
that's where it
us.
gets confusing because Nick is 100% right. There's no overarching villain. If you think the vaults did the right thing, they don't, because the vaults leads into a bigger conspiracy
That's
where
what I'm saying. Like,
even you think that China was the first one to launch bombs,
yeah.
but then you end up realizing no, it's the U.S. that launched it. But then
That
it was
makes
never
sense.
the U.S.
Oh,
it was
wow.
it was Vault Tech
Yeah.
that sparked it and created conflict.
And
But that's a
and-
theory.
And that's what I'm saying is that like the whole spiel of
Mhm.
Fallout is that you unlock the conspiracy of who really like launched the nukes
It's
first.
a backstory because
it
the
is a
main
backstory.
story is where you're at. So like Nick was saying, in 3, you go find your dad who's trying to purify water. You work with the Brotherhood, but then you end up realizing that the Brotherhood of Steel faction
Yeah.
in the Capital Wasteland is a separate faction than what you've seen in New California Republic,
Yeah.
because the original ideology of the Brotherhood of Steel is the preservation of technology and the conservation of human nature. They don't want anyone that does not have pure human genetics
Yeah.
to be involved in the
So you
Brotherhood.
can't be a mutant.
Yes, or a
Oh.
ghoul or anything like
Well,
that.
I feel like that's something that they're gonna do at the end of season 1. Then
they have to because
very much like kind of like how Last of Us was,
Mhm.
where you uncover that the Fireflies are not. I mean, they're not good, but they are willing to put ahead anyone's lives just for the sake of humanity.
yes.
Yeah.
And so what you end up realizing is that the Brotherhood of Steel faction in New California Republic is a lot more militaristic and more arrogant in their ways.
Yeah.
The Capital Wasteland Brotherhood of Steel was actually they were let go. They were like, what is it called? Sanctioned off, or
Yeah, they were quarantined off.
they were basically
Because-
they were cut off of everyone else because the I forget the name of the higher up the leader of that one. He had a different ideology. He wanted to use the military power of the Brotherhood of Steel to help the Wastelanders in the Capital Wasteland.
'Cause but wasn't he also he was also experimenting with mutations.
He was trying to cure it.
Yes, but that's what I mean though. He was experimenting with
Yeah.
mutations and he was trying to cure it, but he was also finding the military benefits.
Yes, and he was against the Enclave, who is very much U.S. government first. They are the ones that are true rulers of the U.S.
And
It's-
humans only.
Exactly. And
But that's what I mean though. So each game had its own area, its own story, and basically it's very Walking Dead-esque because it's kind of like you wake up into a world
No, okay.
and you're new to it, so everything's being explained.
Okay.
And now you're kind of dealing with, you're very naive and you're trusting and you don't know the wasteland like others do.
Yeah.
And that's going to be kind of like the thing of her like being this naive girl that she has an idea of what the wasteland is and what she's going to find out there. And then I'm assuming probably like halfway or by the end of it, she's going to become a full-on vault hunter.
So that's what I'm thinking as well too. With every game, you get a new character. Are we going to get every season with a new character?
I think we're going to follow only her in this one, but the biggest question that hasn't been answered yet is what's the purpose of Vault 33?
Yeah.
Because Vault 101 was, the experiment in that one was what happens to society when they're locked in the vault for, I think it was like a centuries or something like that, and they're only ruled by one person, the overseer.
Yeah, they were there. It was like generations of people that were all in one vault.
Vault 111, which is Fallout 4, was what happens to the human body after cryostasis after 200 years. Vault 76 was releasing the occupants of the vault into the world. I think it's like 100 years after the bombs drop. And
I thought
so
it was sooner.
it was the game takes place in 200 or 2178 or something like
but
that.
it's sooner than all the other ones.
It's a centennial vault, so it is 100 years. So it's 100 years after the bombs drop.
Okay.
And then in Fallout 1, you're trying to find the water chip because your vault's water supply broke. So they were never meant to open the vaults, but you have to go out and figure that out. Fallout New Vegas was different. You're already a wastelander. You're not a vault dweller.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to figure out why she's leaving the vault in 33. And there's a lot of different scenes in there. You see like people going mad and crazy, killing each other in the vault, which shouldn't happen. Who's the guy that he plays Jerry in Rick and Morty? What's his name?
What?
The actor that plays Jerry in Rick and Morty.
Was his name Dan Perkins or something like
Yeah.
that?
He is normal in some of the scenes, but then as the overseer of Vault 33, you see him as with only an eye, so he's a Cyclops. So is the Vault experimenting with human genetics after years? Because this is supposed to take place 200 years after the bombs drop.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there's a lot, and I think that we won't know any details until the show drops.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm glad Walter Goggins is getting work.
It's just good. It's good casting.
It was a lot of really good casting, but also, we need a cowboy.
Yeah.
Look at Walter Goggins.
Well, it's so funny because there was an interview with that Jonathan Nolan did with Empire where he said, well, why did you make this ghoul look kind of good looking? Because
it's not my fault Walter Goggins is handsome.
it's just like they're just like, we wanted to cast him because he is a good looking dude, and I think that we wanted to play the kind of like ugly but sexy and badass cowboy ghoul that was
it's not my fault that Walter Goggins is handsome.
Yeah, he's a handsome
what
man.
Am I supposed to do? I put 7 layers of makeup on that man. You still want to sleep with him.
Also, ghouls can live for more than 100 years.
Yes,
because their bodies have become so irradiated that they can outlive normal human life
basically
expectancy.
almost immortal.
Yeah, but they have brain rot, so after a
Crazy
couple
as
like
hell.
years, they can become feral.
Oh.
Yeah, so it just depends on the amount of radiation that they experience.
Okay.
I'm also kind of hoping that they do bring synths into this season because Jonathan Nolan did make Westworld, and that's
A thing.
synth.
Here's
So they
my
can
thing.
bring in the Institute, even though it's destroyed.
Jonathan Nolan is really great at starting shows. He's terrible at maintaining them.
Because he has
So,
other projects to do.
I know, and I understand that. That's fine.
Yeah,
But then don't start a project.
that's true. No,
Because if you're going to leave this to the wasteland, then why even make it?
give me 2 seasons of the show and I'm fine.
But that's my thing though, is that you know what? In all fairness, I would love it if every single season was a new showrunner had a different idea of how they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And it was a different city, it was a different vault, and they were kind of like, okay, cool. And it's going to be a different type of show, very American Horror Story-esque.
I think the only problem with that is that Todd Howard wants it to be canonical to the games, and there's so much lore. 76 messed up a lot of the lore.
That's why everybody hates 76.
No, people hated 76 because it was glitch. It was a bunch of glitches, but they still have millions of players.
Hold on. First off, it was supposed to be a AAA title, and that thing sucks.
I still love it. I can't. I don't know.
You just like being alone. That's all.
I do. I don't know. It was just me.
It's got
it was
super
me,
sad,
my
really
guns,
quick.
the Pit Boy playing the radio. Didn't want to set the world on fire, you know?
I just want to set the world on
It's so
fire.
good. Dude, I played so many hours of that game. I headphones on. I didn't care, dude. It was
If
great.
it had no NPCs, who were you shooting?
Just the enemies, the Scorch, the ghouls, the mole rats. They remind me of Joey. They literally look like Joey.
They do look like Joey.
Are you? So, what are you guys' final thoughts?
Oh, I'll watch it, but I'm not confident in it.
Not better.
You brought up a good point.
What? That it's going to be compared to The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both video game titles, and they're both having to do with the apocalypse.
Here's the thing, I
And
think
I'm going in the same way as when because I know we're going to see it, is the Borderlands movie. Low expectations, just entertain me.
I can't go into this with low expectations because it's Jonathan Nolan. But I will say that if it's going to be compared to The Last of Us, it's not going to be as good because they're two different stories, different settings.
But here's my thing though. I feel like the average consumer will get the two confused.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just if you were to like put them side by side and then go like, oh, it's an end of the world movie. I mean, end of the world show about, based on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
If I was an average consumer, I would confuse them.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost positive if I were to like give it to Monica, she'd be like, so what's the difference between the two?
One's radiation,
Corporate
the other
wants
one's
you to find the
cordyceps.
difference between these two pictures.
Dude, you sent me a freaking reel of a dude that's making cordyceps out of human blood
Ah,
and skin.
I
And I'm
was
just
just
like,
gonna
what the
say,
heck?
What a moron, right?
Yeah.
Just
He's like,
what the heck,
obviously,
dude?
Like, what are you
you never
doing?
watched it.
Yeah.
You never watched Last
Just burn
of Us.
it. Burn it.
Look what I did, guys. The thing that killed off a lot of people in
This
Last
is
of
how it
Us.
starts.
Yeah.
Show that dude 28 days later.
He's an idiot. No,
Yeah.
he's dumb.
my
Don't
God.
experiment.
Can we kill him?
Probably.
We should.
He's probably
No,
gonna
he's
kill
he's
himself.
already dead. Like,
Oh.
the government
Cordyceps
was
started. God dang it, dude.
But I really do. I'm interested to see how this goes. It's Walter Goggins, Jonathan Nolan. It's probably season 1's gonna be sick, but
God, dude.
I worry about it going any further than that.
This is just my thing, dude. Welcome to all the new Fallout fans. That's all I'm gonna say. Join me in the wasteland in Appalachia.
You know what? Also, if it's good, I'm gonna be like, where was this for Halo?
Yeah, that's true.
It's owned by Microsoft. This is a Microsoft property.
It is.
Where was this for Halo? If
Let's
it's
not
if it's
talk about
good, I'm gonna be like, dude, where was this? You put more thought into Fallout than you did Halo.
You know, Jonathan and I both agreed that we're not watching Halo because it's a good show. We just like spending time with each other.
Just
And
hate
we're like,
watching it.
he's
It's
like, I'm
fine.
super. He told me yesterday. He's just
Have
like,
you watched? Did you watch last
we watched it 2 episodes yesterday because we
stopped.
didn't
Oh,
watch
okay.
last week.
I can't.
And he's like, dude, I'm really
Okay.
excited to watch Halo. I'm like, you're not excited to watch Halo. You're excited for us to watch Halo because it's our time to watch something
Mhm.
together.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah.
that's true.
What's the old Ron White joke where he goes, I started watching it and then and if I wanted to hurt that much, I was going to do it to myself. So I got a spoon and I shoved it up my own ass
All right.
because Oprah calls that empowerment.
Calls
All
that
right.
empowerment.
Let's do one last topic before
Yeah.
we close it out. We got 15 minutes left. Let's talk about the Rooster Teeth shutdown. So it was announced March 6th that after 21 years, Rooster Teeth announces a complete shutdown, ending its production run of 21 years.
I'm not shocked that this is the fallout of Rooster Teeth, and because of all the channels that were tied with Rooster Teeth
So-
have been slowly dying out.
Yes.
One YouTube channel that I loved it started with The Creatures, and then from there it started with Cow Chop. And then I did watch like Achievement Hunter and stuff, but Cow Chop was my favorite because it was just like good guys that were not good at video games just having their own channels. Like that's
Yeah.
me. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
They were terrible at them.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
a little bit of stuff that came out with this. They will be laying off over 150 full-time employees and dozens of other contracted workers. You asked about the assets and things that will be, that Rooster Teeth has under. Assets and rights to certain properties of Rooster Teeth will be try to be sold to other companies, including Ruby, Genlock, and Red vs. Blue. The Roost podcast network that includes all the podcasts under Rooster Teeth. They will still operate for the time being, but Warner Brothers is going to try to sell all of that to a different company. They're just trying to
Really?
get it off. If you guys recall the kind of timeline that Rooster Teeth had, it was created by several people in 2003. They
Yeah.
were bought by Full Screen in 2014, then acquired by Otter Media, which was a joint venture between AT&T and Chernin Group, which then became a part of Warner Media. And then in 2022, Discovery bought Warner Media. Now we get Warner Brothers Discovery. Other things that Rooster Teeth they had a streaming service called First, which was created in 2016.
Yeah.
225 subs at its peak. Currently only has 60,000 subscribers to its name.
What was their first show that they did?
I think it was like wasn't it Ruby?
Mhm.
Oh no, Red versus Blue
I
started
was
it.
just say Red versus Blue.
It was supposed to be Red versus Blue, and then it went to Ruby, and then because Red versus Blue blew up, and then the devs for Halo actually made them their own dev kit.
Yeah. So so that's a bit of stuff. And then if you guys recall, there's a bit of controversy in 2022 when a bunch of former employees and current employees were basically coming out saying that there was a lot of underpaid staff, that they were being harassed, and
didn't one of the Funhouse members got into some like
Legal trouble.
legal trouble over like sexual conduct or something like that?
Oh, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, whatever his name was.
C or something like a Cope. Nah, it was like Adam something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy. He got exposed because him and his, I think it was either his girlfriend or his wife made a sex tape in the bathrooms
He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
He would.
yeah.
I don't get it.
What?
I just don't understand
Uh-huh.
when like people who are like popular on the like
Oh,
become
yeah.
influencers
Uh-huh.
or popular on like Instagram or anything like that, and they're just like, dude, we're untouchable. We can do whatever.
Yeah,
the
we
hell
can do whatever we want. Yeah.
So-
or I can do whatever I want.
This
So
is okay.
It's crazy. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
really? Like
Like,
the
that's
law
gonna
still
come out. That's
like
the thing.
eventually it's gonna
Yeah.
come out, dude.
Like, look at Quiet on Set. That documentary is gonna come out.
dude, I'm looking forward to that.
Did you hear that the person that they're bringing in
It's Drake Bell.
It's Drake Bell.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Drake, so they were
The advertisement for Quiet on Set is basically about the Nickelodeon stars and how
It's the Dan Schneider stuff.
yeah, it's all that's the main
But
thing. But there was also 3 other predators on set
sets.
the whole time.
Not only that, but also they were actively predators.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also when they got hired,
Mhm.
they had criminal records and they were
Mhm.
being allowed to work with children.
So
Yeah.
who were they, or
So-
do we not know?
We don't know yet. But
Yeah.
the thing is that the first commercial had all these people from Nickelodeon
Yeah.
talking, and then they went, "You'll never believe the story that we have." And then
Yeah.
it would then cut, and you just see an empty chair,
Yeah.
and then somebody walking in.
Yeah,
and you
and
didn't know who it was.
Someone, the interviewer was like, "How long did you think? How long did this happen to you? And then, what made you want to come out now?" And you just hear a, and then it cuts.
And then now, as it's coming up,
Yeah, so like 2 days ago, as upon recording on Friday, like Wednesday, this was on TikTok. I was just scrolling through TikTok,
Yeah.
man, and then they have a TikTok, and they're like, "Oh, we're finally gonna show you." And then they talk to one of the producers that would work on the Nickelodeon shows. He goes, "Wait a minute, so like you're saying that
We had
sexual contact happened on the sets that we were on, right?" And they go, "Yeah,
No,
but
'cause
not."
he
It was
yeah,
a
'cause-
child actor.
because what he ends up saying is he goes, so after the show he ended up doing this, and then he goes, no, this is while on the set, and he goes, so you're saying that we had a child predator
Mhm.
on our sets,
Yes.
on one of our sets that I worked on,
Mhm.
and he goes, yes. And he goes, I don't believe that. And
Yeah.
he goes, and basically just goes, I have receipts.
Yeah,
Like I have all of
it's
these
true.
things.
They go,
And he goes, it's true. And then he's like just appalled.
yeah,
And then you can see him, and then they cut in, and you see that same empty chair, and lo and behold,
Mhm.
Drake Bell walks in
and sits down on
and
that
sits
chair.
down, and then goes,
Yeah,
and they go, "How long did this happen?" And he goes,
he was like 13 or 12.
"It first happened when I was 13,
Yeah, when he did
when I was on
all-
the Amanda show."
Yeah.
Or,
either
all
Amanda
that.
show or
Like,
all
he
that.
was the
Yeah.
one that was.
He was
was the
getting
one-
sexually abused.
He said he was being sexually abused since he was 13
hmm
on the set of Nickelodeon TV
But
shows.
because he was getting sexually abused, he was getting pushed more into the Nickelodeon shows. That's why his career took off. They said he's claiming.
that's
So
what he's
are we
claiming.
going to also see what's his name, Josh?
You know what? Honestly,
I don't think he's a part of it.
I don't think he's a part of it.
Well, why not? He was in the show.
So my thing is that Josh, because when the guy who plays Josh, he said that his parents were very involved. Drake Bell's weren't.
Yeah.
He had a very rough child. He had a very rough home life.
Mhm.
Whereas the guy who played Josh,
His mom was always involved.
his
and
mom
stuff.
was always there. His mom was literally always on set, and he
Mhm.
goes, she invested my money well.
Mhm.
She made sure that money was well put away.
Mhm.
She made sure that I was set up for the rest of my life. That if I ever need, I didn't need to act for the rest of my life. I can do whatever I want because all the money that I made when I was there, she put it away, and everything else. Drake Bell, on the other hand, he was not so lucky, so he was a easier target. And not only that, but also you're 13, you're a boy, and also you're being, and then this is something happening by somebody with power.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's
didn't wanna
why
talk
the iCarly reboot got canceled the way it did?
Maybe
I mean, the show wasn't as successful, and that could be it. But like
a
now
lot.
it's
Because even Jeanette McCurdy has talked about in her book
Yeah,
that
there were some misdeeds on the set.
there was stuff happening when the iCarly show was going on, but also when the reboot was happening or the relaunch of it, Miranda reached out to her and said, "Hey, we're going to be doing this and stuff like that. Do you want to come back and do it?" And she goes, "No." And like, "Come on, it's going to be cool. We're all going to benefit from it." She goes, "No, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it at all."
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it brings up too much.
Yeah.
brings
Yeah.
up too many.
It's too much
many
trauma.
numbers. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just too
and
much
that's
trauma.
100% that makes sense. Like
She's
I'd be
already
okay
moved
with it.
Mhm.
She's already moved on.
Yeah, I mean, I
But-
watched the reboot. The reboot was good. I enjoyed it. Well, it wasn't good, but I enjoyed it for
Yeah.
what it was.
But-
And
But that's besides
Yeah.
the point.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm interested to see it because especially
It's going to be
as
on
somebody-
ID.
it's
The channel,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's also, but it's going to be on Hulu.
Yeah.
They-
They're streaming it.
they're streaming it on
upon
Hulu.
side, yeah.
When does it come out?
Oh, not until like later this month.
Dang.
Yeah. They already have like the first 3 episodes ready to air, but they're not airing until
So
like
it's gonna
next
be-
week.
see,
That's gonna
it's
be
good.
insane.
It's good
Yeah,
that this
it's gonna
is
pop
exposing it.
Yeah.
Exposing a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to are the crowds that are going to jump and start accusing other people
Mm-hmm.
that support the shows and still
But
watch it.
you know,
Because like that's the thing
Yeah.
is that
Well, this is like Hollywood's like worst kept secret that they keep holding. You know, they keep, because there's been stuff, even Corey Feldman has tried to go out and, make a documentary about all the stuff that's happened to him, but it keeps getting shut down and stuff like that.
that's the thing though, is that
Yeah.
nobody wants to talk about the fact that child actors are in a very vulnerable place because
Yeah.
they're surrounded by adults.
yeah.
They're surrounded by adults. And there's even someone quoted what Dan Schneider said to parents and people when they said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a big celebration of the big success of this show. We're gonna have it at my house. We're gonna have a big pool party and stuff like that. Parents don't need to come by because we're gonna watch the kids and stuff." And that's what he would tell parents. And then that's when all the misconduct is happening.
It was funny because I was talking to Monica about
Yeah.
it, and I go, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
I think if I had a kid, girl, boy, does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a kid and they wanted to get into the show business, they
Mhm.
wanted to do everything like that, I would never leave them alone.
Yes.
I think at a certain point I'd quit.
It's
myself.
funny you say that because actually Ryan Gosling has went on and said, because he was a child actor as
Yeah.
well too. He was part of the Mickey Mouse Club and stuff. And he says that he is not going to have his daughters in the limelight. Anything that has to do with them in public, he tells people, "Don't take pictures of my kids, please. Don't do that."
When
Please
they become
respect-
adults,
yeah.
when they become adults,
Yeah.
if they want to have their pictures,
Well,
taken,
it's because
that's
they went through all that.
That's the
And
thing.
so they don't
Yeah.
want their kids to have that. They want a lot of them, and I forget who it was that said it, but they wanted to have. They want them to have the choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice when you're an adult, and a lot of this maybe they were forced on by their parents, and they're not saying it now. Maybe
Yeah.
it was their choice,
Yeah.
and they just had bad experiences. But
Yeah.
it's so interesting to kind of see all that. I love how we went from that out of what we were supposed to talk about,
You know,
which is kind of similar to it.
In all fairness, I mean, it's very sad to see Rooster Teeth go,
Mhm.
but the writing was kind of on the wall, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, channels were dying down slowly but surely. Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like the channels didn't evolve with.
So
It's-
that brings me to this point that
Okay.
you mentioned, because
Yeah.
you were saying like, well, did you actually like, how do you feel about the shutdown,
Yeah.
right? And it's a parallel with even like Hollywood productions, which is a good thing that like Quiet on Set is coming out, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like revealing not only like the child predator stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, but it also reveals like the egos that like a lot of production or people in production have,
Yeah.
that they think that they're untouchable and that no matter what decisions they can make, they're always going to be right. My biggest issue with Rooster Teeth in this particular
Yeah.
part
Mhm.
is that they were too big for their own good.
Yeah.
And one
At
of
a
the
certain
issues,
point,
and one of the things that they were mentioning was that the CEO, who I think his name is Levin, I forget his last name, but it's Levin something. He has already said that RTX, which is their convention, was never profitable The convention started in 2011. They canceled the 2014 one because they're shutting down, obviously, but it was never profitable. And I understand conventions might not always be profitable, but if you haven't been a profitable company for over a decade, why do you still continue to push projects thinking that it's going to be successful?
It's the old saying, with doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't work that way though. Like if they would have minimized their work effort and they would have only stuck with the stuff that they know they could sell, it sucks. Like no one wants to get laid off and everyone wants to have that experience of pushing their own content forward.
It's the same thing that happened with like, what was it called? With X-Play.
Yeah.
And everything else. But I feel like for this, there's so many controversies and there's so much there was egos that were involved and there was just content that wasn't being made and money being poorly spent and they're just all over the place.
So Bernie left in 2000 or in 2020, I think, or it might have been 2021. He was one of the original creators. And he went out and basically said, he was just like, this isn't the Rooster Teeth that I helped make. That's why I'm leaving, because I feel like my job here is done.
Yeah.
I think that he left at a good enough time because he
got paid out.
He got paid out, but I mean, like, if it isn't his project anymore, why does he have to stay? You know?
I'm just saying in general because right now they're liquidating. They're like the creators and the CEOs are not going to get the same amount of money that he got when he left.
The other
people are just getting laid off.
Yeah. The other issue I see here is a lot of these Hollywood production companies are buying out like YouTube studios, realizing that they're not bringing any profit and then liquidating them.
Yeah.
I feel like what it is though is it's the Mr. Beast effect. They have like Mr. Beast, because in all fairness, Mr. Beast is a on paper millionaire.
Yeah.
Like if you were to go with like his assets and everything like that, but he is not liquid. He is not like if you were to go and ask Mr. Beast right now, I need $100 million or like $100,000, he wouldn't be able to give you that.
No, that would take like a month. Yeah.
It would take like a month because Mr. Beast does the same thing that like Elon Musk does and all them.
Well,
where he takes out a loan against his assets and then he then uses that loan to then pay use it to, live and then pays off the loan.
My biggest issue with Mr. Beast content is that he's like a drug. None of his content is actually good in the long run.
You mean Jigsaw? Yeah.
He's
just Jigsaw now.
He's just Jigsaw. Basically.
He's just rich Jigsaw. I'm gonna put you in a box and then let's see what happens.
Let's put you in a box for 100 days and see if you survive.
And I'm just gonna psychologically torture you for days.
But that's why it's like content that's good for one high and then you're done and that's it. And I stopped watching his videos after he got exposed.
Yeah.
Because Rosanna Pansino,
they were saying
baker.
They were saying that he had he edits his videos.
Yeah, that because she originally had like been in the top 3 of the hide and seek when they did in SoFi, but then they edited her in a way to make it seem like she was like below.
Isn't there a girl that got famous from like the Squid Games thing? Now she's an OnlyFans model. Yeah,
but and it's like that's why it's like he got exposed for kind of being weird and I mean if people like Mr. Beast, sure, but
it's also they've also seen too like weird editing as well, because like people are like, oh well, like how do people know to stop, like because there's a scene inside of the Squid Games one where people are running towards a door that's shutting and then people stopped well before and then they were like, this is the footage that was on YouTube. And then it's like nobody's there and they just stop and then the door closes. Yeah. And then they're like, this is the raw footage. And then the raw footage has like people in green basically like referee suits. And they're like, stop. And then they got edited out at the very end because they didn't want them like shown.
Yeah, exactly. Which is understandably okay.
Or like they edit certain YouTubers to win things.
Yes.
Even though that they had lost hours before the actual winner.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Because he ended up being top 3 in the hideout, and which is dumb.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. You probably only did it because Logan Paul's a bigger name, much bigger than Rosanna Pansino.
It makes your video look better.
But it's like,
goes through the whole thing.
But you're dumb for doing it because then that's your fault for not making the production the way it was. If he got caught way at the beginning and Logan Paul gets eliminated, that's your fault.
Also, speaking of which, Jake Paul is going to fight Mike Tyson.
I saw that, yeah.
I hope he breaks his teeth.
I hope he bites his ear off.
I hope he... I'm hungry.
You know,
what-
see a
Like
video
a
that
kid
Mike
calling me a
Tyson
baby.
came out with a cane. He was walking with a cane, and
Did he do the Willy Wonka? Please tell me he did the Willy Wonka.
dude, I
He
hope
fell
he
on the
does.
ground.
I hope he walks into the ring with like a walker, and then last minute when the bell rings, throws it out. And just like, dude, his training's insane, dude.
Dude,
Yeah. You see that video when he's teaching someone how to box? Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, I
And,
have
then
seen this one.
and the guy's like, hold on, wait. He goes, you're supposed to do it like this. And the guy's like, oh, don't. And then like he doesn't do it. He's like,
Because I think it was for what is it, Hangover, right?
yeah.
It was for the Hangover.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I want Mike Tyson to murder him. I think I was saying I just want him to turn to dust.
So
like
here,
I want Mike Tyson just to
Thanos.
boom.
Thanos
It just,
out.
he just turns to dust, and then he just goes, "I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest.
I'm the
I
greatest
took down
that
the
ever
Paul
lived.
brothers.
I took down the Paul, but I'm gonna get the other one. I'm gonna be the American
I'm
champ.
gonna go WWE. I'm gonna be when
I'm
that bell rings. I'm gonna
be a new American champion. I'm 60 years old. I killed him. He signed the paper. It's fine.
Triple H, sign me.
You're welcome, world.
You're welcome.
I did it.
You're welcome, world. I signed him. I fed him to my
Logan
tiger.
Paul, I see you at WrestleMania.
I thought it was so funny because one of my parents told me about this. They were like, "Did you hear about Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, that must be a typo."
No.
Like,
No, and it's
That's
smart.
something he's been trying to push.
And
I know,
it's,
Jake
Paul,
it's
yeah.
smart that it's on Netflix because
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay for it,
I
but I'm
know.
already paying for Netflix.
I
so
thought
I'm
it was
gonna
so
watch
Even
funny
Netflix
that-
knows that no one will pay for that. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
like,
I just thought
you're
it
already
was-
here, so you might as well
I
watch
just
it.
thought it was super funny because I'm like, because I go, I really want that scene where he knocks Jake Paul out.
Mhm.
And then somebody cuts it with the scene from Hangover, where like he hits the ground and then you just see Phil and he's like, "Oh, he still got it."
Did you see that on SmackDown tonight? Randy Orton RKO at KSI.
Yeah, that's funny.
Dude, I mean, I don't look. I might have told Meta AI how to punch Zack Snyder through the screen. Okay, and you know what? Part of me enjoys it when Logan Paul gets his ass kicked. At, you know,
I just-
wrestling.
You know what I
And
really
KSI
want?
too. You know,
I want him to get the stool out. Like I want him to be beating him up, and then like he's just kind of wobbly, and then he pushes him over and gets the stool from like the sidelines, and then just puts him over his knee and just goes like, "You don't belong in the ring.
Yeah.
Get out my ring." And then he just like kind of kicks him out.
well, we know Jake Paul's gonna win it, so you know.
Oh my! If he
There's
can't,
no
that's the
way.
script.
he can't
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
He can't.
Jake Paul. Oh, it ends in a tie. Sorry, my bad. You're
I'm
right.
telling you right now, it's gonna go to decision.
Yeah,
It's gonna go to decision, and then they're gonna say it was a tie, and
Mike
then there's
Tyson.
gonna.
If there was a time for you to bite a ear, right? It'd be right now.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a tie, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, they're gonna have another fight to decide this
Ha!
and everything
Next
like that."
month, you have to pay for that one.
Yeah, I'm telling
Next
you
time
right now.
on Netflix.
I just think it's so funny. 'cause
Mike Tyson beat the Drake Paul.
but it's really funny to see
Who
Mike
is the
Tyson-
mysterious figure on the banister?
I just think it's super funny to think that Jake Paul was watching Rocky 5 and then went, "What if I got Mike Tyson?" Like no one thinks I'm a real boxer. What if
He
I
wants
got
to be
Mike Tyson?
Rocky from Rocky 2.
No, that's Rocky 5.
Oh, Rocky 3 when he fights Mr. T.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about like when he's like a champion and then like
Oh.
he has to fight like an old man to like make himself relevant. He's almost 60.
Yeah.
I know he's walking with.
You
the king.
didn't even go for a like Floyd Mayweather, who's like in his 40, he's 47.
Or what, does he still? What is it? The Pacquiao? Is he
Manny
still,
Manny Pacquiao's a senator now. He's dealing with
uh,
gay rights and everything like that, trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
He's fighting a different fight.
Yeah, he's fighting his own fight
Right.
with Christianity.
All right, we got to wrap up this episode, guys, because it's already an hour and 52.
Do you think Jake Paul thought of like, what if I fight Sylvester Stallone? Like,
I thought it would be. I think it's really funny of going like, what if I lose? Like,
He's not gonna lose.
It's just
like the right before the bell rings, he's like this getting ready, and after he goes, "What if I lose?"
no, because I have you ever seen like footage of Mike Tyson fight?
Oh yeah,
Scariest thing in the world.
it's fast,
Dude, him running at you like a
Yeah.
like a
You hear
fucking
one
bull.
ding, and that's it.
Yeah,
All you hear is
you're on the
ding.
ground. It's 2 hits.
Dude, he
The
doesn't
bell,
even get the.
you hitting the floor. Like, that's it. And Mike Tyson's just standing over you. Like,
Why am I bleeding? Oh my god, my ear!
I just what I want is just the And then you see Mike Tyson. I'm not done. Just starts
Takes off
doing
those
his.
the belts,
Just starts
the
doing his
gloves.
pants, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm not done yet."
I'm not done yet. You're gonna get my third arm.
I'm a sexy till you love me. Just somebody didn't come here to
Oh my
box.
God, dude. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 189. Don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Socials, Instagram, Facebook, x.com. Check out our YouTube channel, /Keeping Up With The Nerds. And check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean.
Don't forget to comment down below about a possible Patreon.
Yeah,
Would you guys
let us
that?
know.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, because there's a lot we can talk about still. Wrestling, movies,
Honestly,
we would
I-
love to talk about it and get paid.
Nerds After
You
Dark.
know what would be really funny? I would love to do the Mike Tyson fight and do that live. Like, watch it.
Oh, and commentary it
and
stuff? Yeah.
commentate the Mike Tyson fight.
We could.
That would be really
That's
fun.
a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Punch him! Kill him!
Just kind of put down what you guys think is a fair price.
Yeah, there you go. Let us know.
I know what I really want. I just want somebody throughout the fight just to go fatality,
Fatality.
flawless victory.
Let's wrap it up. I gotta go pee.
Oh, okay.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 189. My name is Nick Valero.
Rene.
This is Bryan.
Signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.
Good job. Woo!